essentially yesterday to get some mound work in again, and then he'll be ready to go.
Keys for today's game in this series against the Mets?
Yeah, I mean, nothing unique. We just need to play good baseball. I think the pitching stuff is going to be key. Anytime you go into a series with a doubleheader, the pitching is key. What you get from your starters, probably the most important part. We need good efforts from our starters these 4 games, not only for this series, but for the next series.
Well, good luck here in New York.
Thanks, Coom.
That's the Manager Show. Judson, back to you.
Coom, thank you. Good stuff there with Craig Counsell. And this is a big 7-game road series. Again, they've got a chance to beat a team that has had a bad season in the New York Mets, 34-43 on the year. And then they've got the Brewers in Milwaukee following this series. The Brewers, as of now, as we look at the NL Central, the Brewers 47-29 atop the division. The St. Louis Cardinals have been very, very good as well. The Cardinals are 42-34, so they are 5 games back. That's a healthy lead the Brewers have. Then it's the Cubs in the 3rd place at the NL Central at 40-37, 7.5 games back. As of now, Cubs are looking more towards a wild card, but we have a long, long ways to go in this thing as well. But the Cubs with a chance to get 2.5 games back as of now, the Cardinals from 2nd place of the NL Central.
Well, we certainly served it up over the plate. This is a burger fit for a home run king, the 99 burger in honor of Aaron Judge. They sell a bazillion of these at Yankee Stadium. It looks pretty good. I feel like we passed the test. What about you?
I think so.
The MLB app. Yeah, it's got game. This game. These games. All the games. Pregame. Postgame. And everything in between. This is baseball your way. With real-time stats, scores, breaking news, and custom content that hits every time. Because you choose the teams and pick the players you want to follow. So when they catch it on the field, you catch it on the app.
How can you go from one world-class athlete to another through some of the bravest acts of social protest in the world of sports? Find out on Hall of Fame Connections.
Jim Thorpe's resume reads like a work of pure fiction.
So he's in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He's in the College Football Hall of Fame. He got Olympic medals for the decathlon and the pentathlon.
That's not even just running. That's like, you know, the discus and the hurdles and all of these things. He's the greatest at
I thought I was an athlete, Lindsay.
Thorpe finished his Major League Baseball career with the Boston Braves in 1919, where he played alongside an outfielder named Les Mann.
He invented this particular projector so that he could roll it, slow it down, stop, back it up, see how he's working his foot like this without burning the film.
So are you telling me that this is the first instructional baseball video out there?
In other words, he was the Tomo.
Noticed. But how does OG train off?
You know, sitting beside Mike in the clubhouse, he's a huge card guy. Just watching him go through boxes and boxes of cards, I kind of got a little bit of the edge. You rip a pack and you just kind of get what you get and see what you see.
Yeah, so see what we got. Jose Ramirez.
Ready for Alta.
Look at this one here, Joe. This is...
Injured? Dial Pound Law. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Proud partner of the Chicago Cubs. Morgan & Morgan, 332 South Michigan Avenue, Chicago.
Cubs and the Mets from Citi Field coming up in just minutes. It was a scheduled 6:10 start, expecting now a start for about 6:20. So just a 10-minute wait till we get back to baseball for the Chicago Cubs, who are 40-37 on the season. The New York Mets 34-43 on the year. Time now for Who Are You Banking On? Sponsored by Busey Bank. Building business growing well since 1868. I'm banking on Matt Shaw to have success tonight against the right-hander. Again, our pitching matchup sponsored by Ziegler Subaru of Kenosha. Enjoy the laid-back experience of Ziegler Subaru of Kenosha. That right-hander for the Mets, Kodai Senga, having a rough go at it this year, 0-5 with a 9 ERA. The Cubs will give the ball to Edward Cabrera, 4-4 record, a 5.21 ERA.
Some overnight oats right before the game. My teammates look at me like, what are you doing, dude?
My mom's cooking, probably. She makes some good. She's got a tuna fish casserole. That's pretty good.
I went 5 for 5. I need to eat the same thing. Last time, Saturday, I ate arepa with eggs, and then next day, I got to eat arepa with eggs. So my mom make it for me, and then when my mom is with me,
everything's good.
I save a lot of money.
Estamos lindo.
Encantan los jugadores. ¿Te encanta el juego?
¡Y se fue!
Ahora puedes ser el dueño de grandes momentos del béisbol. MLB Auction te permite participar en la subasta de bates, bolas, jerseys autografiados y más, con artículos de tus equipos de grandes ligas favoritos, leyendas y jugadores agregados toda la temporada. Cada artículo es autenticado por MLB para asegurar que lo que llega directamente a tu hogar es original. ¿Quieres una parte del juego? Visita auctions.mlb.com.
Oh, and it hit Trout right off his right side. He dismisses the athletic training staff, says he's okay.
In between innings. Wow. Look at the size. It says knuckling.
Tell you what, you know why they're mascots. They swung and missed at that thing about 100 times.
Look out, fellas. A nice job protecting the bullpen.
What a wild turn of events there. It's going to be an out on Nasim Nunez on one of the wilder plays you will see.
This ball sent into left center. Jake Myers. What a catch!
What a catch by Jake Myers. He had a long way to go.
7 innings, no earned runs, 3 hits, 9 strikeouts for Nolan McLean. What an outing. Gone! Pete Crow Armstrong with a home run down the line!
Pete Crow Armstrong has now homered in all 3 games this series.
Tyler O'Neill goes skyscraping at the right field fence to rob Raleigh of at least 2 bases, maybe 2 more. I think he pulled it back.
Yeah, he did.
Take strike 3. A new career high. 12 strikeouts for Kyle Bradish.
One of the great performances we have seen this season by an Orioles pitcher.
A 2-out base runner and a guy with some speed as George Springer comes up. Springer hits it a long way to left, and it's gone! Career home run number 300 for George Springer.
Congratulations, George Springer. What a way to do it. An absolute no-doubter.
StatCast says 438 feet. And a big smile on his face as he is circling the bases. It is 6-1.
And here's Will Smith. A chance to hand out a present on his birthday. Smith drills one, left center field. It is gone! Number 16, time and again in clutch time. Pitching change for the Diamondbacks after some birthday in bobblehead night magic from Will Smith. From down 1 to up 1.
How can you go from a South Carolina trailblazer through a tour of the Far East to a Venezuelan's bid for perfection in the Motor City? Find out on Hall of Fame Connections.
Following in the footsteps of those legends named Robinson meant that Dobie didn't always get the attention or the credit that he deserved.
Baseball can be a little bit different, and things aren't always perfect, right?
Biz, born James Raleigh Mackey, was a member of the 1923 Hilldale Club that won the first ever Eastern Colored League championship.
This was reality for these players, and speaks of the segregation, a very somber time.
In 1927, Biz Mackey took part in a 48-game tour of Japan. The 1927 tour was initiated by Japanese-American baseball pioneer Kenichi Zenemura. Years later, during World War II, Zenemura was forced to sell all his belongings and relocate to the Gila River incarceration camp.
They're being denied their freedom, but baseball provides hope, and it gives them an expression of what it is to be an American.
You realize the gravity of the situation, and baseball is that which transcends all of it.
So in 2006, the Tucson Sidewinders, a AAA team for the Arizona Diamondbacks, commemorated that high school game that had been played at Zenemura Field. And then later that season, the Sidewinders win the championship of the league by beating the Toledo Mud Hens. And on that team was Ryan Rayburn.
He watched his Detroit teammate, Armando Galarraga, toss his famous imperfect game.
Another reminder that baseball will always bring people together. Catch every episode of Hall of Fame Connections on MLB.tv and discover your own connections to the game at baseballhall.org.
Te encantan los jugadores. Te encanta el juego.
¡Y se fue!
Ahora puedes ser el dueño de grandes momentos del béisbol. MLB Auction te permite participar en la subasta de bates, bolas, jerseys autografiados y más, con artículos de tus equipos de grandes ligas favoritos, leyendas y jugadores agregados toda la temporada. Cada artículo es autenticado por MLB para asegurar que lo que llega directamente a tu hogar es original. ¿Quieres una parte del juego? Visita auctions.mlb.com.
If you're feeling crabby, check out some of these wild and weird moments from around the league.
Since going to tag out Bowers, who had the crab crawl back toward first base.
Is this 1-1-1-3 on the putout?
Of course, catching it is one thing.
Whoa! Go through the 5-hole?
Yeah, it sure did. Now that's what you call really struggling.
Now let's see some animal instincts on display in the field.
Nico! Behind the back, what a play!
Get a load of this.
Say hey, Austin Martin right. He made an incredible catch! And a liner caught by a leaping Bobby Witt Jr.
No question about that one.
Robles over, goes to a dive, and makes a tremendous catch.
Oh, I didn't give him a shot off the bat to come down to that baseball. Oh, highlight reel stuff from David Hamilton.
How about that?
The bubblegum blowing contest. It was fun. It was at a time when Topps included bubblegum in their baseball cards. And that was the
to the starting lineups. Brought to you by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. For Craig Counsell's Cubs, a record of 40-37, third place in the National League Central. Pete Crow Armstrong is the leadoff man, and he's in center field. Alex Bregman at third. The first baseman is Michael Busch. The Cubs cleanup man tonight is the designated hitter, Seiya Suzuki. The left fielder, Ian Happ. Matt Shaw in right, batting seventh, second baseman Nico Horner. Carson Kelly is the catcher, and hitting ninth for the Cubs tonight is shortstop Dansby Swanson with right-hander Edward Cabrera on the mound. Meantime, for Carlos Mendoza's Mets, a record of 34-43, last place in the National League East. Carson Bench is the New York leadoff man, and he's in right.
And he drills this ball. Goodbye! Bang to begin this series. Oh, what a shot. And what a start for the Dodgers, 1-0 like that.
113 coming off the bat. This is a changeup, but look at the location. You know, we just got done talking about command versus control. The control's there, but it's right down the middle part of the plate.
It was a strike.
Was.
Not all strikes created equal.
Stabbing grabber, Royal, nicely done.
More tremendous defense in this series from Nasim Nunez.
Jake Myers, what a catch! Looks like he's played there for years. Not too shabby, young man. 2 Gold Star plays. Back-to-back web gems.
Beautiful thing on both sides of the infield now here for the Braves.
Back to the warning track and makes the catch up against the wall.
It is caught by Davis Schneider. Leaping grab by Meyer.
Closing is Mitchell, and he makes the play.
The race is on, and Vladdy will win it.
Jazz Chisholm, lovely, lovely play.
Eyes on the ball, right?
Yeah.
Tyler O'Neill goes skyscraping at the right field fence. Oh, Billy Cook.
One of the greatest center fielders in the game today.
Backtrack, leaps at the wall, made the catch.
Diving stop by Palacios, who is just taking hits away from everybody.
I'll tell you what, through 3 2/3 innings, I think Richie Palacios deserves a Gold Glove.
This ball set into left center. Jake Myers. What a catch. What a catch by Jake Myers. He had a long way to go.
7 innings, no earned runs, 3 hits, 9 strikeouts for Nolan McLean. What an outing.
Gone! Pete Crow Armstrong with a home run down the line.
Pete Crow Armstrong has now homered in all 3 games this series. Tyler O'Neill goes skyscraping at the right field fence to rob Raleigh of at least 2 bases, maybe 2 more. I think he pulled it back.
Yeah, he did.
Take strike 3. A new career high.
12 strikeouts for Kyle Bradish.
One of the great performances we've seen this season by an Orioles pitcher.
2 up and 2 down. Here's Matt Olson. Olson swings and clubs one. High in the air to deep center field. Streaking way back to the wall and off the wall. That's a home run above the yellow line. Matt Olson gets us going with a homer to the deepest part of the yard. What a shot. Way up in the air to straightaway center, and it's 1-0 Braves.
That's got to feel good for Matt Olson, getting that goose egg out of his home run column, and there was no question that one was leaving the yard. That was absolutely crushed.
I haven't been able to say that in a while either for 2 days. That makes it the perfect time for Light by England. Just 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, packed with flavor. Flight is the next generation of light beer from the oldest brewery in America. Look for Flight wherever you buy beer, and I got to remember how to do this because we've had a few days off. We don't get too many days off like this in baseball, Z. But, yeah, kind of an odd situation. 2 rainouts in a row, one in Chicago 1 year. And now Cubs back on track here. We're going to play a lot of baseball here in the next 3 days.
It's been a while. You're exactly right. How long? Well, the last time the Cubs had back-to-back games rained out, 2018. And according to Cubs historian Ed Hartig, the last time the Cubs had consecutive games postponed because of weather in 2 different cities, 1986.
Wow.
So, yeah, this is a little awkward, but we're ready for baseball. Cubs and Mets, start of a 4-game set. There will be a doubleheader here at Citi Field tomorrow. There was rain most of the early evening here in New York, but it's cleared. So first pitch was only delayed about 10 minutes. And the Cubs are trying to duplicate what they did to the Mets earlier this season in April when they swept the Mets, outscoring them 18-7.
Yeah, the Cubs offense was doing its job. The Mets came in, and Cubs just played good baseball, and they were really on a roll. So what you're hoping for is for the Cubs to continue, and keep swinging the bats. I think they really, with all this baseball that we're going to play in the next few days, the Cubs offense needs to do the job, and so does the starting pitching. But, boy, if the offense can really get clicking here, and today could be a good day for it, that really takes some of the pressure off of that pitching staff.
The Mets take the field here in New York as we get ready for baseball. 70 degrees at the moment here in Queens. Cloudy skies overhead. The game time temperature sponsored by Four Seasons, your trusted local experts for heating, air conditioning, plumbing, sewer, and electric. Cubs wearing their traditional road gray uniforms, jerseys, and pants. Blue numerals, blue lettering on the front outlined in white, red numerals on the back outlined in white. Blue batting helmets with a red C on the front. Blue socks. Pete Crow Armstrong, who will be leading things off for the Cubs momentarily, wearing gray shoes tonight. The Mets wearing alternate blue jerseys with orange numerals and lettering. Blue caps with an orange interlocking NY on the front. White pants. Pitcher Kodai Senga wearing black and orange shoes here tonight. The uniform descriptions are sponsored by Benjamin Moore. On the field, the walls of your home. The right team and colors make all the difference. Official paint of the Chicago Cubs. All right, let's talk some baseball, Coom. Kodai Senga, the Mets pitcher, 33 years old, 6'1", 202 pounds, and he has had a difficult time this season. 0-5 with an ERA of 9 in 6 starts. He returned from the injured list last time out last week in Cincinnati after missing nearly 2 months with spine inflammation. Went just 4 innings, 4 runs on 2 hits, 4 walks, 5 strikeouts, but he did throw 82 pitches in that game.
Yeah, and it's one of those things for him, when you start looking at his numbers, and let's say the last 3 or 4 starts, very short starts, a lot of pitches all around the strike zone, has not been able to attack in the split finger, which is best pitch, has not had command of it. So, when you don't have command of your best pitch, your put-away pitch, and it becomes a non-competitive pitch, it makes it very difficult to get hitters out.
Pete Crow Armstrong digs in, left-handed batter against the right-hander Senga. who works his motion and deals, and PCA looks at a strike to start things off. Baseball officially underway here in New York. The Cubs leadoff man is presented by Binny's Beverage Depot. If Pete Crow Armstrong gets a hit, Binny's Beverage Depot will donate $200 to service dog charities. If you can't find it at Binny's, it's probably not worth drinking, as PCA swings and misses. And a fastball from Senga. So the count is 0-2. PCA riding a 23-game on-base streak, and that just scratches the surface of how good he's been. As PCA waits for the 0-2, Senga delivers a swing and a miss, strike three. One away here in the top of the first, but during that 23-game on-base streak, PCA hitting better than 400 with 10 home runs and 17 RBIs.
Yeah, he's been swinging the bat very well. He's been patient too, so he's not chasing a lot. And the at-bats have been, as he's letting this ball carry to him a little bit, he has had a really good run here swinging the bat.
Alex Bregman now at the plate. Here's the pitch by Senga. It's up high for ball one.
I think you kind of surprised him. Senga went with 3 fastballs in a row, one in the middle of the plate and the next 2 at the top of the zone, and he wasn't expecting that.
Senga kicks and fires, and Bregman takes a strike. So the count is 1-1. Bregman over his last 11 games hitting nearly 300, a .297 batting average with 1 home run, as he tries to get things on track here. Here's the 1-1. That one's in the dirt. 2 balls and a strike, the count on Bregman.
Senga with a very good fastball. He doesn't feature it as much as I think the Mets people would like. But a very good one. He's in that high 90s range, so he can buzz it up there with the best of them. That's for sure.
Senga works on the third base side of the rubber. The pitch, swing and a miss. 2-2. That was another fastball.
Yeah, 98 miles an hour is where the fastball has been. Speed gun powered by Xfinity. Reliable Wi-Fi at one price for 5 years. Xfinity. Imagine that. We've seen 1 breaking ball so far. 3 pitches to Pete, and now 4. 4 to Bregman, 1 breaking ball.
Bregman waits for the 2-2. A long set by Senga. Now the pitch. And this is popped up right side on the infield, right near first. It's Young behind the bag, straddling the line, makes the catch in foul territory for out number 2 as Bregman is retired.
Well, maybe, the lack of success for Senga here as of lately, he's kind of seeing the light a little bit and trying to establish that fastball, because he has certainly showed that here in the first 2 hitters.
Michael Busch stands in, left-handed batter. 2 down here in the top of the first, just underway. Cubs and Mets are scoreless. Opener of a 4-game set. The pitch. Busch fouls it back out of play. Second deck here at Citi Field. The count is 0-1. Busch riding a 25-game on-base streak, but over his last 6 games, he's dipped 4 for 22. It's a batting average under 200.
Now, Michael took a good rip at that first fastball. See if he gets another heater here and can do something with it.
Here's the 0-1. That one is low. 1 ball, 1 strike. If you had 2 unexpected days off in the middle of a season back when you played, how would you use that time to make yourself better at baseball?
Well, I just think, at the end of the day, at this point of the season, we're closing in on a halfway point.
The 1-1. Busch looks at a ball up high, 2-1.
There's really, the whole idea is to give yourself a mental break if they're, if the conditions are going to give it to you. And then the other thing is you try to use this time to kind of heal up a little bit. The only thing I would have made sure I would have done yesterday coming to the park is thrown.
Busch taps it foul at the plate, 2-2.
Because when you spend a few days in a row and don't throw, that's a problem for your shoulder. Your shoulder gets, I don't know how to explain it, but you just do. So I would always throw, even if I had to go out in the rain and it was pouring, you'd play catch for a while just to make sure you were throwing.
2-2 the count on Busch. 2 down here in the top of the first. Cubs and Mets are scoreless. Senga waiting for the pitch clock to run down to almost 0. He deals. That pitch just misses. So it's a full count.
That was a good forkball. That one was just off the plate away. That one had Michael Busch fooled, but just missed off the plate.
So now Senga's ready. Here comes the payoff pitch to Busch. Pop foul out of play off to the left. They'll do it again.
First inning, powered by Invesco QQQ. Let's rethink possibility. Invesco Distributors Incorporated. Michael's had some good swings at Senga's fastball.
Overall on the year, Busch hitting at .247 with 8 home runs. Crowds the plate, hits out of a crouch from the left side. Senga, the right-hander, sets above the belt. He deals. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him with a fastball. Cubs go down in order in the top of the first. Middle one, no score in New York. Cubs and Mets on the score in the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
This is your home for every pitch of Cubs baseball.
Troy, the Arizona left fielder, 0-4-2.
Tommy gets on this one, drives it to center. This one's on its way, and there it goes. Tommy Troy, way up on the batter's eye. That's his third, and it's 3-2.
There's nothing cheap about that home run. That was 3/4 of the way up the green patch past the center field wall. Blast.
He got a fastball right down the middle at 98 and just turned it around.
That was no cheapie.
Puedes ser el dueño de grandes momentos del béisbol. MLB Auction te permite participar en la subasta de bates, bolas y jerseys autografiados, con artículos de tus equipos de grandes ligas favoritos, leyendas y jugadores. Visita auctions.mlb.com.
Hey, Cubs fans, make history with your business in the Village of Bedford Park. To learn more, contact Adam Colopy at ACOLLOPY at villageofbedfordpark.com.
28-year-old right-hander Edward Cabrera on the mound for the Cubs. Scoreless game as we get set for the bottom of the first here in New York. Game 1 of a 4-game set between the Cubs and Mets. Carson Bench, left-handed batter, will dig in for New York. Cabrera is 4-4 with a 5.21 ERA in 13 starts. He faces home plate, working on the first base side of the rubber. First pitch on the way, and a check swing at a pitch up high to Bench on appeal. No swing, says Junior Valentine at third. So the count is 1-0. Cabrera was pulled last time out. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Bench in there for a strike. 1-1 the count. He was pulled in the 5th inning because of cramping in his right hand against the Rockies a week ago tonight, the 1-1. And a fly ball hit to right, playable for Ian Happ, who drifts toward the line and makes the catch. Bench is retired, 1 away, and it sounded like after the game, once Cabrera was pulled, that just the initial pain when he was on the mound scared him more than anything.
Well, it's just such a weird thing. You know, you're pitching and then your hands cramping, and as we know, it's not something, a voluntary thing. It's involuntary, and just starts doing it.
Bo Bichette takes an awkward swing and miss at Cabrera's sinker.
The only place for a baseball player that I can think of off the top of my head that the cramping thing becomes a real issue, like where you get concerned for lengths of time, is the hamstring.
As Bichette fouls that one back out of play, 0-2.
When a guy has they think, well, I'm cramping in my hammy. A lot of times that's part cramp, part tear, and that's a problem. But, immediately they said the very next day that he's going to be fine and be able to make his next start, and here we are.
Bichette looks at a ball from Cabrera. That was a slider that missed off the outside near the top of the zone, 1-2. So it's good to see Cabrera on the mound. He kicks and fires, and Bichette takes strike 3 called. Sinking fastball from Cabrera, 2 away.
Cabrera paints the outside corner with some gas. That's a good pitch to get the punch out of Bichette. Bichette has been swinging better as of late. Really hasn't gotten on track if you look at his total numbers, but here as of late, he's been swinging well. And speaking of swinging well, the guy at the plate, I don't think he ever doesn't swing well.
Yeah, Juan Soto digs in. Powerful left-handed batter hitting at .301. And he looks at a strike from Cabrera. Fastball clocked at 98 miles per hour. On the inner half near the bottom of the zone. 0-1 the count. The next pitch. Tap foul off to the right. So the count is 0-2. By the way, strikeouts by Cubs pitchers brought to you by our Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers. We love our good friends at Hyundai. Not only does Soto hit above 300, he's also got 17 home runs, 38 runs batted in, and 6 stolen bases. Here's the 0-2. Inside, backing Soto off the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, this guy can hit. You know, he's got 38 RBIs, and the only reason he's got 38 RBIs is because in this lineup, you're going to try to do everything in your power not to have him be the guy to beat you.
The 1-2. Soto hits a high fly ball, shallow left. Coming in, Happ camping under it, makes the catch for out number 3 as the Mets go down in order in the first. Scoreless game as we head to the second. Cubs and Mets on the score, and the Northwest.
Chris Sale's 10th start of the season was a beauty. He goes 7 innings, giving up just 1 run, and he is in line for his first win against the Marlins.
An outstanding outing tonight by Trey Savage. 6 innings, 2 hits, did not walk a batter, struck out 8, kept the Yankees off the scoreboard.
11 strikeouts from Kyle Harrison.
Matching a career-long outing for Kyle Harrison and a dominant 2-hit shutout for the left-hander. Wow.
Outman over. Outman with the dive! Superman hit-saving play by James Outman.
Ryan drops his glove on the mound and gives James Outman a standing ovation.
First pitch of the game, the pitcher hits it out. A living, breathing statue, Shohei Ohtani.
You just don't dare take your eyes off of him.
He's a walking history book.
It's ridiculous what he does.
I'm going to throw out a restaurant kitchen term to you, and then hit me with the baseball one. I'll start first.
Okay.
Mise en place.
Oh, mise en place. That is, as the chef, you put all your different ingredients out, kind of before you start cooking, right?
You got it, man. Yeah. That's the most important
That's a tough one. I hear this one a lot because of my name, can of corn.
Easy fly ball.
Puedes ser el dueño de grandes momentos del béisbol. MLB Auction te permite participar en la subasta de bates, bolas y jerseys autografiados, con artículos de tus equipos de grandes ligas favoritos, leyendas y jugadores. Visita auctions.mlb.com.
Visit BenjaminMoore.com today.
The second inning is brought to you by Glass Wines, delivering crisp, refreshing flavors that hit every time. Cubs and Mets are scoreless as we begin the top of the second in New York. Seiya Suzuki stands in against right-hander Kodai Senga. High leg kick and pitch, and Seiya looks at strike 1. A sinker from Senga. Seiya on the year hitting at .269, 10 home runs, 31 runs batted in. But remember, he missed a few weeks at the beginning of the year, recovering from that knee injury from the World Baseball Classic. And the 0-1. Off the outside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
This guy's throwing bullets up there. He is determined to throw the fastball. This is a very, very conscious effort to establish throwing his fastball.
Another long set by Senga, and the 1-1. Up high to Seiya. 2 balls and a strike.
Feel like a Bosch prediction brought to you by Bosch Power Tools. Feel like a Bosch. Now, we have been in New York now for a couple days. Day and a half, really. Haven't played a lot of baseball.
Senga deals inside to Suzuki, 3-1.
Now, for you folks who may not know, this is Zach Zaidman's hometown, New York. And you I feel like you should be the Bosching guy today. Seeing we're in your hometown.
It's on me, huh? Here comes the 3-1. Seiya, check swing and a pitch off the outside, did not offer. Ball 4. Suzuki draws a leadoff walk here in the top of the second. It'll bring up Ian Happ.
So there you go. Senga, 2 non-fastball, 1 sinker, but not even, it's 6 miles an hour short of the fastball. And then the cutter away, and he walks his first guy. And that has been his Achilles heel, is a lot of walks in his innings pitched.
Ian Happ, switch hitter, batting from the left side. The pitch fouled back off the screen by Happ. 0-1 the count. To your point.
So you Boschish? Oh, you're going to give me a staff.
Yeah. We still have to do the game. This is important. It's off your point. Senga, a 15% walk percentage. And the Cubs lead all of baseball with 339 walks after Seiya was issued that free pass. Happ waits for the 0-1. Another long set, and the pitch is low. So 1 ball and 1 strike, and one more business-related issue here. Walks of Cubs batters, sponsored by It's Not a Game, Illinois.com. Reminder, a walk is free, a DUI is not. Drive sober or get pulled over. But my prediction has to do with Cubs pitcher Edward Cabrera.
Okay.
As Senga sets right above the belt and deals. Low and inside to Happ, 2-1. I think Cabrera bounces back, and we're going to see him have his best outing since coming off the injured list with that blister. This is going to be the 4th outing since then, and I'm expecting a quality start from Cabrera tonight.
Okay.
Suzuki at first, no one out here in the second. The 2-1. Happ swings, line drive, base hit into left center field. Suzuki rounds second, but he'll hold there. Ball quickly retrieved by Ewing in center to get it back to the infield. But now the Cubs in business, Coom. Men at first and second, no one out. And red-hot Matt Shaw due up.
Now let's pitch to Ian. Up and in, hits it. Actually gets the head of the bat out to it and hits it off the end of the bat and just kind of dumps it in short left center. Hit it okay, but perfect location, kind of in that no man's land. And now the Cubs need a big swing of the bat from Matty Shaw.
Corner infielders are in with Shaw at the plate. Righty-righty matchup. Men at first and second for the Cubs. The pitch. Shaw swings and pops it foul out of play. Just to the left of us. 0-1 the count. Over his last 8 games since coming off the injured list with that bad back, Shaw hitting .292 with a home run, 7 RBIs, and a very impressive .954 OPS. Suzuki at second, Happ at first. Here's the 0-1. Oh, it hit Shaw.
Forkball. Got away from him. That's what we were talking about earlier, is the forkball has just escaped him. You know, it's they're non-competitive pitches, and he either spikes it in the ground. That one, that missed the strike zone by 4 feet, and that one hits Shaw in the middle of the back. I mean, that's way off from the strike zone.
So time called. Mets pitching coach Justin Willard heads to the mound along with an interpreter to talk to Kodai Senga. Cubs have the bases loaded here in the top of the second. No one out. Nico Hoerner will dig in for the Cubs. Senga was known in Japan during his playing days at Fukuoka for what's called the ghost fork. It's that forkball that you talked about. He was 87-44 with a 2.59 ERA, a 3-time All-Star playing in Japan, 5-time champion. And his major league career got off to a good start when he made his debut. But since then, he's been battling injuries and now ineffectiveness. So Hoerner digs in with the bases loaded. The pitch is low, gets behind the catcher Alvarez, but not far enough for Seiya to think of coming home. 1-0 the count.
Alvarez had a little issue. That was a fastball that kind of ran down and in, and Alvarez in a very relaxed position, almost too relaxed, and didn't catch that ball. It's right at the edge of the dirt, and the Mets got lucky. It hit the umpire Jones in the back left foot, or else it goes all the way to the backstop.
Bases loaded, no one out for the Cubs here in the second. Hoerner waits. The 1-0 from Senga is dribbled foul behind the plate off to the right. 1-1. been well documented. Nico's been in quite a slump, hitting under 200 over his last 40 games. But in the just completed homestand, he hit 286, 6 for 21. Righty-righty matchup. Another long set by Senga. The pitch. Nico swings and fouls it back out of play. 1-2.
That's a pitch Nico would like to have back. That was a good pitch to hit. It was a breaking ball, but right in the middle of the plate, he just fouled it back. When Nico is going good, that ball's darted into right center or left center.
Senga deals, and Nico swings and misses. Strike 3, got him with a cutter, 1 away.
Yeah, Nico, that pitch surprised Nico. He took an awkward swing, and back foot moving, he just not in sync with that pitch at all. Didn't see it well out of the hand, and very late with the swing for the first out of the inning.
So here comes Carson Kelly. Bases loaded for the Cubs, 1 away here in the top of the second. Scoreless game in New York. The pitch, high and tight to Kelly for ball 1. Kelly had a whale of a homestand. He went 4 for 8 with a home run. The home run was a grand slam against the Blue Jays. 7 RBIs on the homestand. The pitch. That's a called strike. Fastball from Senga, clocked at 96 miles per hour. 1-1 the count.
Kelly went keen on that call, but did not want to challenge.
Suzuki's at third, Happ at second, Shaw at first. 1 down, top 2, Mets. And Cubs are scoreless. The pitch. Pop foul out of play off to the right by Kelly. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count.
Defensive alignment sponsored by Fitzgerald Equipment. Material handling handled. Learn more at FitzgeraldEquipment.com. The Bunch and Kelly around towards left center field. So a pretty good size gap in right center.
Kelly waits for the 1-2. Here it comes. It's high and inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. On April 17th, the Cubs rocked Senga for 7 runs in 3 1/3 at Wrigley. Now the 2-2. This is fouled back out of play just to the right of us. So they'll do it again. Gray skies overhead. Officially 68 degrees at first pitch here in Queens. Cubs looking to strike first with the bases loaded here in the top of the second and just 1 away. Kelly at the plate with a 2-2 count. Senga puts the ball in the glove, fidgets around, works his motion and deals. And a pop fly out of play off to the right. So Kelly battling Senga here in the second.
Senga's thrown a couple fastballs. Last couple pitches been what he calls a sweeper. Looks like it's kind of a normal slider.
Time called by Alvarez. He steps in front of home plate.
Alvarez did not like what they were going with for some reason. He popped out of there and did not want to go with that. Now they're going to reboot on the sign. Senga keeps shaking his head and then finally says yes.
All right, so here we go. The 2-2 to Kelly. High and tight. Carson's worked a full count here with the bases loaded, just 1 away in the top of the second. Cubs and Mets scoreless.
Senga and Alvarez having a hard time getting together on the pitches. They shook 3 times and then finally threw the pitch that Alvarez wanted. Didn't throw it where he wanted, and then he was upset.
There's nowhere to put him. Kelly waits. The payoff pitch is in the dirt for ball 4. The ball squirts past Alvarez to his left. Cubs strike first. Carson Kelly draws a bases-loaded walk. Suzuki comes in, 1-0 Cubs over the Mets here in the second. Still just one away. Bases remain loaded. And now Dansby Swanson will hit.
And that's exactly what we were talking about in the pregame show and here in the open is you go to 3-2, you've got one out, but you got the bases loaded 3-2, and you got a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. What do? You spike a slider in the dirt. That's an absolute non-competitive pitch, and you walk in a run.
Dansby with 8 home runs on the year. Right-handed batter against the right-hander Senga. With the bases loaded, just one away. Cubs up 1-0. Here's the pitch. That's a called strike. Fastball from Senga, 95 miles per hour. Right at the top of the zone on the inside edge.
Our Cubs have questioned a couple calls, but they've all been strikes. Jones doing a pretty good job so far.
Now the pitch. Swanson fouls it back in the hole, 0-2. Haps at third base, Shaw at second, Kelly at first. Just one down here in the top of the second with the Cubs on top of the Mets, 1-0. Game 1 of a 4-game set. Senga deals, and Swanson taps it foul at the plate, just getting a piece of that breaking ball, 0-2.
Little inside hook to Dansby. That pitch might have been down, but fouls it off at home plate, stays alive. Here's where if you're in, you got to be kind of aware too, because Senga at any moment can spike one of these split fingers and it could go to the backstop.
Swanson waits. The 0-2. And a line drive hit to left. Right there is Soto. Makes the catch. Hat tags. He's coming home. The throw cut off. And it's now 2-0 Cubs here in the second. Sacrifice fly by Dansby Swanson.
Good at bat for Dansby. That's really good. You get behind the count 0-2. And, you know, there's the issue with Senga. He just doesn't know where the ball's going. And he gives Dansby a really good pitch to hit. And Dansby serves this ball in the left, drives into Cubs' second run. So good situational baseball by the Cubs. A walk by Kelly with the bases loaded, and now Dansby on sacrifice fly.
So 2-0 Cubs. Men at first and second for the Cubs here with 2 away in the top of the second. And Pete Crow Armstrong will hit for the second time tonight. He struck out swinging to lead off the game. Beatty, the third baseman, playing in wide of the bag. Senga delivers. And PCA looks at a ball off the outside. Fork ball that missed. So 1-0 the count. Yep. PCA, by the way, has 10 home runs in his last 23 games. The pitch. And a high fly ball hit to deep right center field. Going back is Benj, looks up, gone! 3-run home run for Pete Crow Armstrong against the team that drafted him. And the Cubs have blown things open here. It's 5-0 Cubs here in the second. For Crow Armstrong, that's his 17th home run of the year. It leads the team.
Now Pete gets a pitch to hit. We were talking about Senga and, you know, his lack of being able to throw the ball where he wants. After all the fastballs, this is a fastball center cut right down the middle. And Pete deposited it in the bullpen in right center.
A 409-foot blast for PCA. Alex Bregman at the plate and looks at a strike. A slow-moving breaking ball that spun into the zone from Kodai Senga. So now the on-base streak at 24, and during that time, Pete hitting better than 400 with 11 home runs and 20 RBIs. Bregman swings and pops it foul out of play over our heads. 0-2. He is in some kind of zone, PCA. 5-0 Cubs here in the second with 2 away. The pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And the top of the second comes to an end, but not before the Cubs strike first, putting a high 5 on the board. 5-0 Cubs, middle 2 on the score. And the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Hey, Cubs fan.
Vargas 1 for 3, 1-0. Vargas hits it deep to left center. This one's got some carry, and it's gone. Eldemaro Vargas
Burgess gets one back. Well, you're the DH. You're supposed to be the hitter, and he's been hitting a single and a run scored in the second, and a 2-out homer in the seventh, his first of the year. That went 431 feet.
109 miles an hour off the bat. That's a momentum breaker right there.
He's the ultimate argument for the 26-man roster.
Gosh, we've gone to Sea Dogs games since we were kids.
I've been coming to see the Sea Dogs for the last 30 years. Great experience.
Everybody here is just bends over backwards to help people out and wish the world was like it is right here at the ballpark.
We've always wanted to be more than just a baseball team. We want to be strong, active, contributing members of the community. And I think that effort is seen by the people and the fans, and they want to support that effort.
Federally insured by NCUA.
On Friday, July 17th, the Cubs take on the Twins at 7:05 in the evening. Up to the first 5,000 early arriving fans of the Budweiser bleachers, 21 and older, receive a Cubs 1940s, 1950s replica jersey presented by Budweiser. Be sure to arrive early. Bottom two, 5-0 Cubs. Jared Young leading things off for the Mets, and he looks at a strike from Edward Cabrera, 0-1. Cubs scoring all 5 of their runs in the top half of this frame. The big shot, a 3-run homer by PCA, as Young looks at a ball low and inside. When Cabrera is right, what's right about Cabrera? The pitch. A one-hopper off the glove of Cabrera. Now he fields it and throws to first in time to get Young one away. It looked like for a moment Cabrera could not tell where that ball was. Did it hit him in the body?
Well, one hopper hits him right in the midsection. Not quite sure. The ball drops down right between his legs. And then as the slope of the mound lets the ball roll out in front of him, he makes a play and throws to first. But he's hurting. That ball, I think, got him right on the inside of the left leg, in that meaty part of the leg, and that's going to hurt.
Manager Craig Counsell and trainer Herman Sunsin taking a look at Cabrera. He's hopping up and down on the mound. Cabrera is playing with the rosin bag, and they're going to have him throw a practice pitch here.
That one was hit sharply on one hop. He didn't get the glove to it. I believe it got all leg. Right in that inside, kind of that fatty part of the inside of your leg, I believe. Now we're getting a second look here. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That'll leave a mark.
And he's going to stay in the game. One down here in the bottom of the second. Cubs up 5-0. A.J. Ewing will hit. Rookie center fielder for the Mets. Left-handed batter. Cabrera works his motion and deals, and Ewing looks at a strike. A sinker from Cabrera. The count is 0-1. Are there things you're looking at, knowing where Cabrera got hit right now as you watch him?
No, he'll be fine. That's a ball hit him in the leg. He's going to be all right.
The 0-1. Ewing looks at a ball off the outside. 1 ball, 1
when
strike.
He was jumping up and down, you knew he was okay. Just trying to get feeling back in your leg, because it hits you in a meaty part of your leg, not where it's all muscled up and, it gets a little stingy, and it just, it buzzes you for a while, but you're okay.
That last pitch was a curveball that missed inside. 2-1 the count on Ewing. Cabrera kicks and fires. Ewing swings and pops it foul out of play off to the left. 2-2 the count.
Good pitch by Cabrera inside Ewing. That's a good two-seamer. Started out in off the plate and ran it to the inside corner.
Luis Robert Jr. was acquired before the season to play center field for these Mets as Cabrera deals. Ewing takes ball 3 and works a full count. That was a sinker that didn't sink. It was high. But Robert dealing with a back injury, so Ewing got the call up. The payoff pitch bounces it foul off to the right. And he's batting at .266 this season with a couple of home runs. Five nothing Cubs with one down in the second. The pitch. Ewing fouls it back out of play. Count remains 3-2. So we started off the inning. I asked you, when it comes to Cabrera, when he's right, what's right about him? Because it's been a while since we saw Cabrera at his best. And a high fly ball hit to shallow right, racing in Shaw, dropping back Horner, and it's Horner, the second baseman, who makes the catch, 2 away.
Well, I think for Cabrera, when he's going really well, it's command. Because there's nothing ever wrong with, pitches. He's got great stuff. Great fastball, in the high 90s. He's got movement on the fastball. At times for his heater, it can be, he doesn't quite have the great command of it in the zone. That pitch misses down and away for a ball. But, he's got a great breaking pitch, good changeup, and he'll use his breaking pitches more to get hitters out than he will, kind of dominating with his fastball, which is unique for a guy that throws 98 miles an hour.
Marcus Semien at the plate. He looks at ball 2 off the outside, a curve that missed. Cabrera working quickly. The next pitch misses again. 3-0. That was a fastball clocked at 98 miles per hour. Up high. Righty-righty matchup. Here comes the 3-0 in their first strike. Another fastball from Cabrera. 3-1. Semien in his first season in New York hitting at .219, but he does have 9 home runs. The pitch. This is fouled over our heads out of play. 3-2.
Yeah, this guy hitting .219. That's been the problem for the Mets so far. Offense has been a little sketchy. Soto has done his job. Bichette is heating up. Benj has done very well. He's been a good, solid bat in their lineup as a young player.
This is pop foul out of play. Off to the right. 3-2 the count on Semien.
But you look at their stats, a lot of low batting averages, a lot of, not a lot of guys with a lot of production. And they've been banged up some. So, I mean, it's, you're missing one of your star players and your shortstop.
Francisco Lindor dealing with an Achilles. The 3-2 is dribbled foul off to the right. Semien's putting up a pretty good battle here against Cabrera. 5-0 Cubs, 2 away here in the bottom of the second inning. Lindor could be back with the Mets before the end of this 4-game series against the Cubs. The 3-2. Semien takes ball 4 up high. 2-out walk. Semien becomes the first Met to reach base tonight.
Yeah, Lindor's on one more final game in the minor leagues to rehab to get back, so he should be back soon.
And Mets have a number of big-name players on the injured list. Talked about Luis Robert Jr. There's Lindor. Now the batter, Brett Beatty, left-handed hitting third baseman, and he takes a pitch inside. 1-0 the count. Jorge Polanco, one of their big off-season acquisitions, dealing with an Achilles injury. And Clay Holmes, one of their top pitchers, also on the IL. DOMO is low to Beatty. 2-0 the count.
2 quick outs in the inning, and now Cabrera's lost a little bit of command. I don't know if it's a concentration thing or if it's just a feel thing, but a walk, Semien, and now 2-0 to Beatty. Cabrera steps off again. Sometimes that's good. A guy, loses a little bit of focus. What he's trying to do, step off and clear your head a little bit and get yourself back on track.
Now we're ready for the resumption of play. Here comes the 2-0, and Beatty fouls it out of play. Second deck off to the left. 2-1. Beatty hitting at 219, 3 home runs on the year. Simeon being held on at first by Bush. Bregman wide of the bag, playing on the dirt where shortstop normally would. The pitch pulled on the ground, base hit to right. As Simeon stops at second base.
2 runners on now. You get 2 quick outs, a walk, 2-out walk, and now a single. And that's what I thought. It'll bring out Tommy Hotovy. He didn't like what he saw the last 2 hitters, and Tommy will come out and talk to Cabrera.
And while that mound meeting takes place, let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the score in the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Cubs Talk with Mully and Haw, mornings 5:30 to 10 on 104.3 The Score and the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network, WSCR, WSCR-FM, and HD1 Chicago.
Alongside Ron Coomer, Zach Zaidman in for Pat tonight. Pat will rejoin us when the Cubs take on the Brewers in Milwaukee this weekend. Cubs with a 5-0 lead over the Mets with 2 on and 2 away here in the bottom of the second in New York. MJ Melendez, the designated hitter, will dig in. Left-handed batter against the right-hander Edward Cabrera, who works on the first base side of the rubber, sets above the belt. The kick and pitch. Check swing by Melendez and a pitch low on appeal. No swing, says Junior Valentine at third. The count is 1-0.
Melendez hitting 189, but he does 4 bombs. It's one of those situations where Cabrera really needs to make a good pitch and get himself out of this inning.
Simeon at second base. Beatty at first. 1-0 the count on Melendez. Cabrera deals. And this one is fouled at the plate. 1-1.
Good changeup by Cabrera. That was an awkward swing by Melendez. He was fading off the ball and then just kind of flicked the bat at it. That'll tell you he is not seeing the changeup very well or covering the outer half.
The 1-1 is low. Cabrera missing with a changeup. 2-1.
I'd stay right out there. It looks like Melendez is coming off the ball like with his approach, so he should handle the ball in well but not away. So let's see if they stay away from him and induce either a swing and miss or a little ground ball.
Now the 2-1 inside. Cabrera went with a sinker there. 3-1 the count. Cabrera unsure of the count. Gets some clarification from the home plate umpire Austin Jones. It's 3-1. The Mets have men at first and second with 2 away here in the bottom of the second. Cubs up 5-0. A long set, the 3-1. Melendez fouls it back off the screen. It's a full count.
Cabrera threw a fastball inner half. Melendez took a huge swing and fouled that one straight back.
A lot of noise from the speakers here at Citi Field, but the crowd has been relatively quiet. Not a big crowd tonight here in Queens. It did rain in the early evening prior to the start of this one. Cabrera peers in, acknowledges the sign from Kelly. 2 on, 2 away. Now the payoff pitch. Up high, ball 4. And now the Mets have loaded the bases with 2 down here in the bottom of the second inning. And Francisco Alvarez, the number 9 hitter, heads to the plate.
Kind of an odd inning for Cabrera. He quickly got 2 quick outs. He did get hit with the ball. The very first hitter of the inning, Young. I don't know if he's having any issues with his leg. It doesn't look like it. But he has not had command since the second out of the inning. A little pop-up to Nico.
The pitch to Alvarez is up high as Cabrera misses with that sinker. 1-0. Alvarez has always hit well against the Cubs, a .354 batting average. The 1-0 delivery. Foul back off the screen, 1-1 on Alvarez.
He was trying to launch one there. He got a high fastball, and he was looking to hit that ball into the second deck here at Citi Field.
Alvarez with 5 home runs this season. Stocky, powerful right-handed batter. Cabrera is ready. Sets above the belt. Bases loaded, 2 away. Here's the 1-1. And that missed. Slider off the outside. 2-1.
Alvarez with that big upshoot swing. Nothing going down, everything going up. He flies up with that front arm. He should be pretty vulnerable to a high fastball.
Alvarez swings and misses at a slider. It's 2-2.
That was a good pitch. That's the best slider he's thrown so far today. That one had bite on it going away. Alvarez pulled off that ball terribly, missed it by a lot.
Let's see if Cabrera can work out of the jam. The pitch. Alvarez swings, line drive, base hit in the left center field. 1 run is in. Here comes another. Racing to third base is Melendez. He slides in safely as the throw goes to second base. 2-run single for Francisco Alvarez. And it's now 5-2 Cubs over the Mets here in the bottom of the second inning.
That's another slider, but this one's more in the middle of the plate. And it's up probably about mid-thigh, and Alvarez smokes this ball into the gap. That splits the plate. It's a pass Dansby and drives in a couple.
So the tying run now at the plate for the Mets in Carson Bench. 2 away, men at the corners here in the bottom of the second inning. Cabrera delivers, and Bench looks at a ball up high, 1-0. Cabrera was in control at the start of this frame, retired the first 2 batters, and it's fallen apart. The pitch is low. It's now 2-0. A walk to Simeon, a single by Beatty, a walk to Melendez, and now a 2-run single to Alvarez. 2-0 the count on Bench. Bregman asking where to play, and he drops back wide of the bag. The pitch fouled out of play to the left of us. 2-1.
The Bench took a big rip at that fastball in the middle of the plate.
Bench with 9 home runs. Flat out to Ian Happ in the first. Cabrera is ready. Here comes the pitch. Called strike. 2-2. Sinker from Cabrera. Right at the top of the zone.
Yeah, it was a high 2-seamer. Right at the top of the zone. Inside, just underneath his hands. Good pitch.
Cabrera delivers. Low and inside. Missed with a change. Melendez at third base, Alvarez at first. 2 away here in the bottom of the second. 5-2 the score. Cubs on top of the Mets. But New York continues to threaten. Cabrera shakes off Kelly. Now they agree. Here comes the payoff pitch. Inside to Bench, ball 4. And once again, New York has loaded up the bases.
Well, he threw a couple strikes, one literally right down the middle like a bullseye. And now you got to make sure you got to make some good pitches, because the one thing about Bichette, if you throw the ball in the middle of the plate, you know, he's going to be swinging hard, and he sprays the ball because his barrel stays in the hitting zone a long time. Carson Kelly going out to the mound, and Cubs getting the bullpen going, and Jones just kind of followed him right out there. Didn't really give him much of a chance to talk to his pitcher. And Kelly talking to Jones and not really leaving quickly. And Kelly looking into the dugout.
So here's the situation. 5-2 Cubs over the Mets. New York's got the bases loaded with 2 away. Mets have already scored twice in this frame. Bo Bichette at the plate, caught looking in the first.
Cabrera needs something good to happen here. See if you throw a good slider and have Bichette pop it up.
Here comes the first pitch to Bichette. It's in there for a strike. Fastball 97 miles per hour, 0-1. Right along the outside edge near the top of the zone. Righty-righty matchup. Cabrera deals. Bichette fouls it away out of play off to the right. In the hole, 0-2.
Back-to-back two seamers to Bichette. He fouled that one back. This one just up out of the zone. Great velocity. Still got, you know, the velocity's there, 97, 98 miles an hour.
All right, so 0-2 the count. Let's see if Cabrera can nip things in the bud here with the bases loaded and 2 away. Now the pitch. Bichette, foul tip into the glove, strike 3. And Cabrera limits the damage. The Mets score 2 but leave the bases loaded after 2. It's the Cubs 5, New York 2 on the score in the Northwest.
That's up the middle, base hit. Maddox makes a turn. Here comes the throw. It's going to be close. He's going to miss. Safe. He didn't touch it. This is bizarre, folks. This is bizarre. That's unreal.
What do you think? You ever seen that play before like that?
I've never seen anything like it.
And there's a shot into left field. Stanton on his way around to score. And the Yankees are on the board. First, it's 1-0 New York. Bouncer headed up the middle, and that's going to get through and drive in a couple of runs. Cranked up and sent into the right center field gap. McMahon's going to score easily. They're going to wave Wills around. Plays to third. 5-0 New York. Another one headed for no man's land, but Harrison Bader read it well. Former Gold Glover comes up to make a very nice catch for the guy they call Big G, who has driven in a run with the 3rd straight hit to open the 5th inning. Chopper for Jazz, hot shot, and he makes the catch. That got on there on a line, and he's telling Jose Caballero, did you see that?
I could watch Jazz Chisholm play. I mean, he plays with such joy. Only David Cohn, Ron Guidry, and Mel Stottlemyre had opening day starts of 6+ innings with 2 or fewer hits and no runs allowed.
Jay's 2025 rankings. See southwest.com/WSJ.
5-2 Cubs over the Mets here in New York as we get set for the top of the 3rd. The 3rd inning is brought to you by Consumers Credit Union, the people in your corner who stand up for you wherever you go. Pete Crow Armstrong, the big hit for the Cubs tonight, a 3-run home run in that 5-run 2nd inning. Michael Busch will stand in to start the Cubs half of the 3rd against Kodai Senga. Busch struck out swinging his first time up. Left-handed batter against the right-hander Senga, with Beatty playing in wide of 3rd. Now the pitch. That one missed. A cutter from Senga. 1-0 the count.
I would guess now Michael Busch has seen his pitches. He gets a good fastball hit here. He should be able to do some damage against this fastball.
The 1-0. That was a sweeper that floated in the zone for strike. 1-1.
Yeah, a little slow hook. Looked like he took something off that breaking ball. Much slower breaking ball than we've seen so far.
Senga deals, and Busch, an check swing bouncer right back to Senga, who fields on a low hop. Underhand flip to first in time to get Busch 1 away.
Now Busch, he didn't really get a fastball to hit there. He got a couple breaking balls. That last pitch looked like a little cutter. That one kind of fooled Michael as he checked swung and unfortunately put it in play.
Now Seiya Suzuki will dig in against his countryman Kodai Senga. 5-2 Cubs with 1 down here in the top of the 3rd, the opener of a 4-game set. Seiya walked in the 2nd and scored a run. Power versus power here as Senga works his motion and deals. Seiya looks at a ball up high, 1-0. Suzuki, the Cubs cleanup man tonight, and cleanup hitters for the Cubs, sponsored by Chicagoland's appliance leader, Grand Appliance. Get your all-star Samsung kitchen today at grandappliance.com. And now the 1-0. Inside to Suzuki, 2 balls, no strikes.
Third inning brought to you by Consumers Credit Union, people in your corner who stand up for you wherever you go. Consumers Credit Union.
Senga deals the 2-0 delivery. Is a called strike cutter. Found its way into the zone. 2-1 the count. Right along the outside edge. We've got to play the Binny's Beverage Depot attendance game. If you can't find it at Binny's, it's probably not worth drinking. The 2-1. Swing and a miss by Seiya. And a fastball. 2-2.
Well, we're in your hometown. What do you got?
As I said earlier, I don't think it's a big crowd. I'm going to go 27,000. And the 2-2. Misses. That was the forkball from Senga. And it was off the inside. Seiya's worked a full count, 3-2. The payoff pitch. Seiya hits one in the air down the right field line, but slicing way foul out of play. It did not have home run distance. What are you thinking, Coom?
I am thinking, I think it might be a little over that. I'm going to say 27,500.
Should we let our engineer play? Here comes the 3-2 inside to Seiya. Ball 4. Draws his second walk of the ball game. This one comes with 1 away in the top of the third, and the Cubs leading the Mets 5-2.
You mean Paul Schrager?
Yeah. World famous.
World infamous.
That too. Remember, the entry fee, Paul, is only, what, $20, right? To each one of us.
Yeah, man.
In cash. Ian Happ digs in. Switch hitter batting from the left side with a man at first and 1 away. The pitch. High and outside, ball 1.
The famous cat man, Paul Schrager.
Yeah, he's cat dad 3 times over.
Yeah. What's the shirt say today? Cat dad. There we go. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Top of your game today, Schrags.
Here's the 1-0 delivery. Up high to Happ. A sweeper that missed. 2-0. As soon as he heard the entry fee, he just shook his head from side to side. No chance he's playing. We'll waive it. You can play Schrager. Happ waits for the 2-0. Senga long set. Now the pitch. Bounced foul off to the right. 2-1. Coom, are you having discussions with people just in front of us?
Yeah, the cameraman.
Yeah.
Well, we've got our security guy that's here that kind of runs this area, and he's a great guy. Mm-hmm. And he helps us out so we don't have to yell, down in front!
The 2-1 by Senga is a called strike, a cutter in the zone to Happ. 2-2.
I would think he's had that New York PD uniform on at some point, our guy here. He's awesome. Best mustache in baseball.
Definitely the best mustache in baseball.
Yeah.
Man at first, 1 away. The 2-2 to Happ. Way outside. Full count.
Yeah, forkball has just been non-existent today. See Senga snap the ball back from the catcher, Alvarez, just in frustration. So if you're a hitter, you know, you almost eliminate the split. You look fastball, breaking ball. And if he starts throwing the split for a strike, that forkball, then you got to start, you know, accounting for it. But right now, I think he's thrown 1 forkball so far in 62 pitches for a strike in the zone.
Another full count. Happ waits for the payoff pitch from Senga. Here it comes. He swings and pops it foul out of play off to the left. They'll do it again. Senga entered play with opponents just 4 for 29 against that forkball, but hitting better than .350 against all his other pitches.
Yeah, he has not had the forkball today. You know, I mean, he's just not able to throw it where he wants to at all.
The 3-2. Happ swings and foul tips it into the glove. Strike 3. 2 away.
High gas to Happer. This is just straight four-seam gas. Top of the zone, might have been a little up. Happer chased it up out of the zone.
So 2 down. Here comes Matt Shaw with Suzuki at first. We're in the top of the third. Cubs 5, Mets 2. Shaw waits. The pitch misses with a breaking ball. 1-0 the count. Shaw was hit by a pitch in that second inning. In the inning where the Cubs scored 5 times. A 1-0 delivery by Senga is a called strike. That was a fork ball that just clipped the outside edge, knee high.
I think that's the first called strike he's got on the fork ball.
The 1-1. This is low with a fastball at 95 miles per hour.
I would think it's disturbing for a pitcher when, you know, the pitch you've had the most success with in your career, whether it be here or in Japan, and it's just, it's not there for you. You just can't find it.
The 2-1 delivery. Shaw swings and misses. That was a cutter. Yeah. 2-2.
That's that sharp cutter. So that's the pitch he's had to go to try to be competitive with fastball and then cutter. It's actually a good one. He gets on top of it and gets good, sharp, tight break away from the right-handed hitter. Not a lot of movement, but a pretty good pitch.
So 2-2 the count. Shaw waits for Senga with Seiya at first. Big hole on the right side of the infield. Another long set and the pitch. Pop foul out of play in front of us. 2-2. Sun beginning to set, but still plenty of daylight here in Queens.
It's actually going to turn out to be a nice night here in New York.
The pitch. Shaw hits a pop fly, foul territory, right side. Young, the first baseman, has the ball squirt off his glove along the railing of the Mets dugout along the first base line, and it rolls into the dugout. Cubs catch a break.
No error on the play, but it's the ball that should be caught. Young does not get over to the side wall quick enough and drifts on this ball and then knows he's getting close. If he runs over knowing that the ball's getting close to the wall and gets there, he'd be able to catch that ball easily. But as he's moving towards the wall, the other thing is, didn't look like he got much help from his own bench, which is kind of odd.
All right, let's see if Shaw can take advantage of some new life here. 2-2 the count. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And a fork ball in the dirt. And that ends the top half of the third inning. Seiya stranded at first base.
And there's a shot into left field. Stanton on his way around to score. The Yankees are on the board. First, it's 1-0 New York. Bouncer headed up the middle, and that's going to get through and drive in a couple of runs. Up and sent into the right center field gap. McMahon's going to score easily. They're going to wave Wills around. Plays to third. 5-0 New York. Another one head for no man's land, but Harrison Bader read it well. Former Gold Glover comes up to make a very nice catch for the guy they call Big G, who has driven in a run with the third straight hit to open the fifth inning. Chopper for Jazz. Hot shot. And he makes the catch. That got on there on a line, and he's telling Jose Caballero, did you see that? I could watch Jazz Chisholm play. I mean, he plays with such joy. Only David Cone, Ron Guidry, and Mel Stottlemyre had opening day starts of 6+ innings with 2 or fewer hits and no runs allowed.
Prices every day on top brands like Samsung. Visit grandappliance.com for full details.
Getting set for the bottom of the third here in New York. Cubs leading the Mets 5-2. It's cloudy, 69 degrees. Time and temperature sponsored by Circus Sports. Sports betting the way it should be with no bet fees. Juan Soto at the plate. Edward Cabrera on the mound. And the first pitch misses a fastball. Soto showed bunt, but the pitch was up high. He pulled it back. 1-0 the count.
I think Cubs would be just fine letting him bunt.
The next pitch misses. So 2-0 the count.
See, now, if I was at third base and he did that, I'd take my glove off and start clapping. Go ahead, bunt. Please, do us a favor.
Now the 2-0. That's a called strike. Sinking fastball from Cabrera. 2-1. The Cubs are not defending third with their current defensive alignment. Pregame is playing on the dirt where a shortstop normally would, and the shortstop Swanson up the middle to the left of the second base bag. Soto swings, hits one in the air, left center, ranging over Pete Crow Armstrong, and makes a running catch just to the right of the 370 marker. Short of the track for out number one.
Pitch got in on Soto, good tight, looked like a little cutter or tight slider in on his hands. Soto still got decent wood on and hit it about, 2 steps from the track and left center.
Jared Young at the plate, looks at a breaking ball for a strike. 0-1 the count. Young, the Mets' first baseman. Left-handed batter, native of Canada, the pitch. Low and inside, 1-1. He's 30 years old now, but he made his major league debut with the Cubs in 2022. It's a 15th round pick of the Cubs back in 2017. The pitch. Called strike. Breaking ball.
Young's just one of those guys who's a solid baseball player. You know what I mean? He's one of those guys who can do a lot of things. He's going to swing the bat pretty well, but he just does. He's just one of those guys that does a lot of things good to make yourself, on a big league roster. That's what I'd say about Jared Young.
That last pitch, tap foul at the plate. 1-2 the count on Young. Always says a lot when a guy who's drafted in the 15th round is able to be the solid player you talked about and make it to the big leagues. As Cabrera misses with a sinker. 2-2.
Coming to you live all season long from the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth. Proud partner of the Chicago Cubs.
Young hits one on the ground, backhanded by Horner. Jump throw to first is not in time as Young beats it out. Nico had to range all the way to his right to backhand that. And Young was hustling down the first base line, give him a single.
I think they're going to challenge this. This ball's hit up the middle. And Nico gets to it, but doesn't get a lot on the throw. I don't think he had a great grip on the baseball. And threw kind of a changeup to first, but threw it on line enough where Michael could help him out by stretching in towards the infield and making a catch. And Counts is going to have them challenge us. If Nico gets a lot on the throw, he's out by a step. But he kind of threw the changeup, and I think he's still going to get him, but only by a half a step.
They're taking a second look. A second opinion is always a good idea. Get yours at Northwestern Medicine. Getting a good look at the replay now.
Very close.
Trying to see if Bush was able to keep his back foot on the bag to lunge for the throw. I'm not sure he was able to do that. How does it look to you?
Yeah, the shot on the scoreboard is a little blurry where his foot is. That doesn't help us much. This is really close.
Sometimes if it's that close.
After review, the call on the field was overturned. The runner is out. Chicago will retain their challenge.
So an excellent challenge by Craig Counsell after getting the word from his replay man, Brad Moylan, and 2 away.
Yeah, that's a good challenge and a good job by Brad in that video room to be able to quickly, because this is one of those plays that, it's not affecting a run, but you certainly don't want to lose your challenge. And good job by him to see that right away, and Cubs getting the second out of the inning.
So here's A.J. Ewing with 2 down here in the third. The pitch inside as he spins out of the way. Did it hit him?
Sounded like it had a double click, but he's not gonna. They're not gonna look at this. Didn't it sound like click click?
Yeah,
that's what I heard. Although I don't have the best of hearing, so who knows?
Ground ball hit on the right side, fielded by Horner. Sidearm throw to first in time for out number 3. Coom, trust your instincts. You've taught me to listen for that double click. The Mets go down in order in the third. We head to inning number 4 with the Cubs up 5-2 on the score in the Northwest.
You know, in Boston, every now and then you'll do those throwback days where you bring out the big baggy jerseys, and the baggier the better. When I broke into the league, everybody was wearing really baggy pants, and then as the years go along, I started wearing these skinny, mini, tight pants that looked like they were painted on. So by the time I was with Boston, I really wanted to wear the baggier, the better. We just wanted to be flying around in the outfield there, having a good time.
The MLB app. Yeah, it's got game. This game, these games, all the games. Pregame, postgame, and everything in between. This is baseball your way, with real-time stats, scores, breaking news, and custom content that hits every time. Because you choose the teams and pick the players you want to follow. So when they catch it on the field, you catch it on the app.
Gosh, we've gone to Sea Dogs games since we were kids.
I've been coming to see the Sea Dogs for the last 30 years. Great experience.
Everybody here is just bends over backwards to help people out and wish the world was like it is right here at the ballpark.
We've always wanted to be more than just a baseball team. We want to be strong, active, contributing members of the community. And I think that effort is seen by the people and the fans, and they want to support that effort.
Gonna be great.
Nico Horner's on deck. Who's on deck is sponsored by TimberTech Decking and Railing. Everything wood should be. Visit TimberTech.com. Top of the 4th here in New York. Cubs leading the Mets 5-2. Horner at the plate. Kodai Senga on the mound. The kick and pitch is in there for strike. Cutter from Senga. 0-1 the count. Cubs scored 5 times. Coom in the second inning. Pete Crow Armstrong, the big hit, a 3-run home run, his 17th of the year. Senga taking his time. Here's the pitch. Nico swings, lines one down the right field line, but this one slices foul out of play. 0-2.
Some of your fellow New Yorkers aren't paying attention to the ball game. There's a baseball game going on out there. You better pay attention where that ball's going.
There's a lot happening in New York. But you better keep your eye on the field during a Major League Baseball game. The 0-2, Nico loops one down the left field line, but it curls foul out of play. Count remains 0-2. Nico struck out swinging his first time up. By the way, our engineer Paul Schraeg has decided to participate in the Binny's Beverage Depot attendance game. The 0-2, low and outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes to count on Nico. And Schrager's guest tonight, 31,254.
Good luck, Schrags.
The 1-2.
Is he awake back there?
He left.
Oh, he left
the building. He gave his guess and left the room.
It's like Elvis.
2 balls and 2 strikes. That pitch missed off the outside. Nico waits. Senga, high leg kick and pitch. That's low. So Horner's worked a full count after beginning this at-bat at 0-2. And now Schrager's back in the booth. Must have heard you. Nico waits. The payoff pitch from Senga. And a high fly ball hit to right. Coming in, Benj has a play, makes the catch. One away.
A little inside fastball. Nico, this ball beats him inside just a little bit, and he just pops this ball up to right.
So Carson Kelly will dig in. He drew a walk with the bases loaded in the second. He also has an RBI tonight. Right-handed batter against the right-hander Senga, who delivers the pitch and misses with a cutter. 1-0.
Senga now at 79 pitches in the ball game already.
Yeah, that cutter was way outside. Kelly on the year hitting at .282. The pitch. Called strike. Slider that spins into the zone. 1-1. Senga doesn't release the ball before the pitch clock turns to 2. Now he works his motion and deals. Swing and a miss at the fork ball by Kelly. 1-2.
Yeah, one of the few fork balls that has actually been in an area where he kind of wanted the ball to go. He has not had command of that fork ball tonight at all.
1-2 strikes the count. Kelly waits. Senga another long set, and now the pitch. Misses with a fork ball.
That last one was a pretty good pitch. That last two have been good. So that ball, you don't want it to be a strike. You want it to be down, and he threw it down and in. Kelly didn't chase it because it was inside.
The 2-2. Off the outside and low with a fastball, so Kelly's worked a full count. That's really the key. If you can avoid swinging at the forkball, then the advantage goes to the hitter.
Yeah, the forkball was inside. That's why he didn't swing at it. It wasn't, over the plate and down. And then he pulls a fastball and another one. He pulled 2 pitches in a row, a fastball and a cutter, and Kelly walks again. And, both of those pitches after the forkball weren't competitive pitches. They're way off the plate and not in the zone. And, Kelly gets his second walk of the ball game.
So Kelly heads to first after drawing his second walk, and here comes Dansby Swanson, who drove in a run with a sacrifice fly in that 5-run second inning. 5-2 Cubs over the Mets with 1 on and 1 out here in the 4th. The pitch. Fastball first strike. 0-1. Right at the bottom of the zone, down the middle.
Dansby had a good at-bat in his last AB. Sacrifice fly to left, went to 0-2. And then Senga threw a ball in the middle of the plate. Dansby hit one good to left field to drive in a run as he fouls this one off to the right.
Fastball from Senga. So 0-2 the count. I was talking to Dansby about just recently celebrating his first Father's Day as a father and how that's changed his whole perspective. 0-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Inside, backing Swanson off the plate with a forkball. 1-2 strikes. And then he admitted it's been really hard for him this year, especially with the struggles at the plate, and he's been working, in his words, relentlessly to try and break out of it. Felt good on the just completed homestand. Here's the 1-2. Line drive hit to deep left. Going back, Soto at the track. Looks up. Gone! Dansby Swanson leaves the yard. A high drive to straight left. 2-run shot. And the Cubs extend the lead. Now up 7-2 over the Mets here in the 4th. For Swanson, that's his 9th home run of the year.
Well, the whole key for Dansby is letting that ball get to him, and then you can, then you can see where your swing is at. But if you're well out in front of everything, that's still good. And this time he gets a hanging slider, inner half. He waits on it plenty long enough, and then he just hits a line drive bullet to straight left field, over the left field wall. Big swing of the bat for the Cubs and Dansby.
380 feet to left for Swanson. 7-2 Cubs. Pete Crow Armstrong at the plate and looks at a ball off the outside. 1-0. The exit velocity on the Swanson home run, 104 miles per hour. Crow Armstrong waits the pitch. Misses low with a forkball. 2-0. PCA whacked a 3-run shot in that 5-run second inning for the Cubs. They're up 7-2 here in the 4th. The pitch. Dribbled foul off to the left. 2-1.
When I think, for Dansby, 2 good at bats shooting this ball to left field, but, staying on time is the main thing. That was a good swing.
Here's the 2-1 by Senga. That one is in the dirt. 3-1. You say it all the time. Give yourself more time to be able to see the baseball after it's delivered. The pitch. An awkward check swing and a miss by PCA. 3-2.
There's a fine line. You want to hit the ball out in front of you, and that's where all the damage is done. So you want to catch the ball out in front, but if you're too far out in front and you're trying to hit the ball too far in front of you, you end up you're just very vulnerable unless the ball is in just a certain spot.
The payoff pitch. Armstrong whacks it foul into the stands behind home plate. 3-2.
I think that's the big thing that Pete has done. Pete has allowed the ball to get to him, and then you really know what your swing is doing. If you're swinging at strikes and you're letting the ball get to you, you got a chance. If you're well out in front of everything, you just don't give yourself a chance to hit.
Armstrong takes ball 4 as Senga misses with a forkball. That was way outside.
Looking down in the bullpen for the Mets, there's a guy just starting to throw now, left-hander. And I know the Mets are kind of in the same situation that the Cubs are in. You had an off day, but you're going to play a game today, a double dip tomorrow, and then a game the following day. And, you're really trying to get as much as you can out of your starters. But that's easier said than done sometimes. And Senga has just had his issues. He's just not throwing enough strikes, and the Cubs making him pay, up 7-2.
Cionel Perez is the man warming up in the Mets bullpen. Brief mound meeting as the pitching coach Justin Willard went out to the hill to talk to Senga. Cubs up 7-2. We're in the top of the 4th, just 1 away. A man at first and Pete Crow Armstrong, and now Alex Bregman digs in. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Popped out and struck out. PCA always a threat to go at first. A long set by Senga. Now the pitch. This is with a cutter.
The catcher's challenging the pitch.
They're going to challenge this pitch. Ball strike challenge sponsored by Northwestern Medicine, and it's
the pitch is a strike. New York has 2 challenges remaining.
That's the home plate umpire, Austin Jones. That pitch clipped the inside edge.
Not often do we see the pitcher challenge. Most of the time, it's catcher-hitter.
The 0-1. Called strike, cutter. So 0-2 the count.
Bregman, he's a little frustrated with himself. That ball was center cut at the knees. Wanted to take a swing at that.
PCA has the Steelers lead at first. Throw to first, and Crow Armstrong dives back in safely. Oh, 0-2 the count on Bregman. Long set. Crow Armstrong goes. The pitch. And a fly ball hit to deep center. Drifting back, Ewing has a play, makes the catch, angling toward right center. 2 away as PCA has to retreat back to first, but Bregman is retired, and it'll bring up Michael Busch.
Bregman retired, but I think the manager is going to finish today for Senga. He's seen enough. Senga has had his struggles again today against the Cubs, and we are going to get a pitching change.
98 pitches thrown by Senga tonight, and he hears the boos as he's removed from the game and heads back to the Mets dugout along the first base line. Pitching changes by Cubs opponents, sponsored by Sloan, the official water efficiency partner of the Chicago.
I want to ask you about food. What is something that you have to eat to beat a judge?
Oh, Aaron Judge! Send him to Monument Park now!
We got some good chefs in New York. They've been cooking up some nice chopped cheeses, and that kind of, it gets you, yeah. I don't know if I should tell the kids that they should be eating chopped cheese before a game.
Before the game, probably steak. That's usually what I go to.
I like a steak, no vegetables.
No vegetables?
No vegetables.
No, is it straight protein?
Yeah.
This time can't get it, and neither could the fan.
Boy, that's when you don't wear flip-flops.
Caminero strikes out, and the bat gets a 7.5 on the distance, but it's stuck to the landing.
That's poked and that hits the umpire. The ball is in play, and it's a base hit for Frazier.
Roberto Ortiz did what he could to try and get out of the way, couldn't.
Took the wrong direction.
He just didn't know which way to go.
$0.23 per gallon on your first fill-up. The Brewers are leading the Reds 1-0 as they get set for the bottom half of the 6th inning in Cincinnati. Brandon Sproat, the former Met, now pitches for Milwaukee, is not allowed a hit through the first 5 innings of play. Other action, bottom of the 8th inning, the Royals leading the race 11-1. Jack Caglione with a pair of home runs in that game for KC. He's got 14 on the year. Top of the 8th inning, Mariners leading the Pirates 3-2. Cole Young, the go-ahead home run. Marlins on top of the Rangers 6-1 in the top of the 7th. Former Cub Owen Casey with a 3-run shot. Michael Busch at the plate. 2 away here in the top of the 4th. Cubs 7, Mets 2. The new man on the mound for New York, left-hander Cionel Perez. High leg kick and pitch, and Busch looks at a ball low. 1-0 the count.
Perez with a high ERA of 5.8 so far this year in 26 innings pitched.
30-year-old veteran. He's bounced around Houston, Cincinnati, Baltimore, Washington, now the Mets. As Busch looks at a strike, sinker, 1-1.
He's one of those guys, he's got good stuff. There's no doubt about that. He's got good, lively fastball.
Carl Armstrong dancing off of first. Perez staring him down. Here's the 1-1. Busch takes a ball low, snap throw to first. PCA dives in ahead of the tag by Young. Two balls and a strike. The count on Busch. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Lefty-lefty matchup. Perez kicks and fires. PCA goes. Pulled on the ground. Sliding stop to his left by Simeon. He flips to first in time to get Busch. Nice play by the Mets second baseman. That's out number 3. PCA stranded on the bases. But
what is it about baseball cards that make them so special? Why do you enjoy doing that?
Well, the biggest thing is I started collecting when I was a kid. O-Pee-Chee was a Canadian hockey league, and then the Canadian football. But I didn't start in the U.S. until I had signed professionally as a ball player. And when I got my first rookie card, and I've got it here with me.
Let's take a peek at that.
1966 with Billy Sorrell.
Dave Holtz now stands in. He gets fisted toward the Angel dugout. Got folks moving. Again, slapped that way. Same spot. Uh-oh. Gray with the 0-2 pitch. Same spot almost. Still 0-2.
I was so inspired by what you were making that I want to do my own all-star ballpark bite, but I'm thinking we take some of that brisket that you make, and I'm going to do like a little slider. Got the pepper jack cheese, some American, Get it going with some of the barbecue sauce that you have, that spicy, delicious one, and then caramelized onions. Make like a little sandwich. We cool?
Sound like a plan.
I think we did good.
Oh, thank you.
Thank
Great.
you.
Thanks, chef.
Puedes ser el dueño de grandes momentos del béisbol. MLB Auction te permite participar en la subasta de bates, bolas y jerseys autografiados, con artículos de tus equipos de grandes ligas favoritos, leyendas y jugadores. Visita auctions.mlb.com.
Your home siding should be tougher. Hardy Siding is engineered for our climate. James Hardy Building Products, siding with the Cubs. Learn more at jameshardy.com.
Spiegel and Holmes talk Cubs baseball in Chicago sports every weekday from 2 to 6 on 104.3 The Score and the Odyssey app. Edward Cabrera deals, and Marcus Semien looks at a fastball for a strike. 0-1. Bottom of the fourth inning in New York, the opener of a 4-game set. Cubs leading the Mets 7-2. The next pitch is a swing and a miss at a curve by Semien. So it's 0-2. Pete Crow Armstrong a 3-run shot. Dansby Swanson a 2-run job as Semien looks at a ball low and outside. 1-2. Cabrera facing home plate. He deals a swing and a miss. Strike 3 as he gets Semien with a breaking ball. 1 away.
Little high slider. This isn't exactly where he wants this ball, but it's effective. It's up enough. Semien can't get to it. It's kind of a hanging breaking ball, but he gets the punch out. Strikeouts by Cubs pitchers brought to you by your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers.
So 1 down here in the bottom of the fourth. Cubs 7, Mets 2. The batter Brett Beatty. Left-handed hitting third baseman. He singled his first time up. Bregman playing wide of the third base bag in. Cabrera kicks and delivers. And Beatty looks at a breaking ball for a strike, 0-1. Cabrera winds and deals the pitch. Shot back to the mound, fielded right of the mound by Cabrera. Underhand toss to Bush. In time, Beatty's retired, 2 away.
Good start here in the fourth. That is outstanding. That's exactly what Cabrera needed. He's got a 5-run lead here in the fourth inning, and you want him to go on the attack. Craig Counsell would really like to see him go as deep as he can in this ball game with a double dip tomorrow.
So MJ Melendez at the plate, left-handed batter. The pitch. Inside.
Spiegel and Holmes talk Cubs baseball and Chicago sports every weekday from 2 to 6. 104.3 The Score in the Odyssey app.
Now the 1-0. That's a called strike. Another breaking ball that floated into the zone. 1-1. Right down the middle. Melendez, left-handed batter, open stance, hits out of a crouch. Cabrera winds and deals. Melendez swings and misses at a changeup low. It's 1-2.
And first out in the inning. It's always sponsored by Xfinity. Reliable Wi-Fi at one price for 5 years. Xfinity, imagine that.
Lights have nearly taken full effect. Here comes the 1-2. Melendez check swing foul ball off the netting behind home plate. 1-2. Figure at some point soon the Cubs will have the services of Matthew Boyd back. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 as Cabrera gets Melendez with a curveball. Strikeouts by Cubs pitchers are brought to you by your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers. Mets go down in order in the...
Fly ball in foul territory. Mike Felder was there, but could not hold on to the ball. Like he had it.
There's the ball there, and then that ball comes out of somebody's glove in the stands.
See, he thought the ball at his feet
was the ball in play.
Was the ball in play? He did, and he slapped his own glove, thinking he had missed the catch when in essence he had it.
That is weird. That is a very weird play, and I don't ever want to see it again.
2 balls, 2 strikes. As Neto launches one right center field, it's deep. It's Lawler back out near the wall, and it's gone! Zach Neto starts it off with a bang! 15th home run for Neto. A magnificent swing. That's 107 off the bat, going 431. I think he's back. What do you think?
I think he's back. Second home run in as many games for Neto. This is a leadoff shot, his 15th home run overall this year.
Schlittler, 25 years old. He spent the season until June in Double-A last year, then moved up to Triple-A, and he was called up to the Yankees on July 9th, and what a difference he made. Swing and a miss. Gets him on the sinker. Swing and a miss. That's the sinker. 4 strikeouts in a row, 8 on the game.
His largest injury law firm. Proud partner of the Chicago Cubs, Morgan & Morgan, 332 South Michigan Avenue, Chicago.
Alongside Ron Cooper, Zach Zaidman with you. The opener of a 4-game set here in Queens between the Cubs and Mets. And the Cubs have a 7-2 lead as we get set for the top half of the 5th inning. Seiya Suzuki, Ian Happ, and Matt Shaw due up against lefty reliever Cionel Perez. The Mets have made a defensive change. Juan Soto leaves the game. Jared Young moves from first to left, and Mark Vientos is the new first baseman. Suzuki has walked twice tonight. Right-handed batter against the lefty Perez. Now the pitch. Called strike, sinking fastball, clocked at 97 miles per hour, 0-1.
You wonder what's wrong with Soto. The Mets are just about to get Lindor back, and then Soto leaves the game. You don't know what happened with him.
Perez misses low, 1-1 the count.
He flew out to left and flew out to center, so he didn't do anything that we saw that would create a problem, but we don't know if he's had an issue before the ball game.
Here's the 1-1. This is fouled out of play off to the right by Suzuki. Cubs have had their share of injuries too, as have the Mets. I mentioned in the last inning, Matthew Boyd expected to make his next start with the Cubs, to be determined. The 1-2 off the outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes, and it could be in this series because the finale of this 4-game set is Thursday night, and the Cubs have yet to announce a starter for that game.
Matthew's traveling with us. He is on the road, and I had a chance to talk to him yesterday, getting off the team bus as we walked into the hotel together. And seemed very positive. He was very upbeat, very happy about being able to get back. So I would anticipate him pitching very soon, whether it be Thursday or against Milwaukee. But he'll be back in the Cubs rotation here in the next, for sure within the week.
Yeah.
Within the 4 or 5 days, I would think.
Seiya fouls that last pitch off on the ground off to the left. The count is 3-2 on the Cubs cleanup man.
Coming to you live all season long from the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth, proud partner of the Chicago Cubs.
Seiya fouls this one off to the right, out of play.
Okay, for a veteran guy who's had a very good career like Matthew and Jameson Tyone, 2 guys that are veteran pitchers for the Cubs, it's very frustrating sitting on the sidelines and watching. And I asked Matthew that, and he just shook his head and kind of agreed. It is. It's just frustrating to not be able to participate. As Suzuki, this pitch called ball 4, but the catcher's going to challenge.
And it's a strike.
The pitch is a strike. New York has 2 challenges remaining.
Right at the bottom of the zone along the inside edge. Strike 3. Suzuki's retired. 1 away here in the top of the 5th inning. The Cubs leading the Mets 7-2.
Ball strike challenge sponsored by Northwestern Medicine. That one did just clip the inside corner.
So here is Ian Happ, who now has to bat from the right side against the left-hander Perez. And the pitch. Called strike. They call that pitch a slurve. It's a breaking ball with a slow-moving variety. 0-1 the count. Just clipped the outside edge near the bottom of the zone. Perez kicks and fires. And Happ grounds one to short Fielded by Bichette. Throw across in time. Haps retired. 2 away here in the top of the 5th.
Ball, a little slider middle but down. Bichette makes the play, and then the first baseman Vientos drops the ball in transition. I think everybody thought he dropped it, but that was not the case.
So here's Matt Shaw, 0 for 1, was also hit by a pitch. Perez, a long set. The kick and pitch. That one missed. Off the outside, 1-0 the count. Kodai Senga started for the Mets, went 3 2/3. 7 runs on 3 hits, 5 walks, 6 strikeouts. Just could not find the command today. The 1-0 is a called strike, that breaking ball that floats into the zone, 1-1.
Yeah, that has been his issue. A lot of walks, a lot of hits per innings pitch, and then you add the walks to it, and that means you're going to have a lot of issues.
The 1-1 to Shaw. Misses again. Another one of those breaking balls.
But I think he threw, 97, 98 pitches in the ball game. I bet he threw under a handful of forkballs that were what he would consider a quality forkball.
Shaw looks at ball 3.
And when that's supposed to be your most effective put-out pitch, that's not good.
Nope. So 3-1. Shaw waits. Perez puts the ball in his teal glove. Works his motion and deals. Called strike. Sinking fastball. 3-2. Lefty-righty matchup as Shaw waits. And the payoff pitch. Tapped right in front of the plate, picked up by Alvarez. He whirls and throws a strike to Vientos at first for out number 3. Cubs go down in order in the top of the 5th. Middle 5, Cubs 7, Mets 2 on the score. And the Northwestern Medicine.
Jordan Lawler leads off the bottom of the 3rd. Reynaldo Lopez, first pitch swung on. That is hit high and deep to left field. It took a long time, but there's the first major league home run for Jordan Lawler.
424 feet off the bat of Lawler. And a no-doubter for him, a kid who was, 6th overall pick a few years ago. They had to find kind of a spot for him. He was a shortstop. They put him in the outfield, and nobody giving him any love after his first big league home run.
Congratulations, Jordan Lawler. That's number 1.
Well, if you look at the infield, they just came out and put, diamond dry everywhere except where McKinstry needed it right here, and he loses his footing.
Wonder when he realized he broke his chain.
With an all-star bonus, he can get a new one. I don't know what is causing this, but we have seen more bats leave players' hands at the plate this year than I've ever remember.
Shot. Got a chance. Yeah, that looks like it would have been a home run, fellas.
So Rockies is really like where my major league career really took off. It was a special time in my life, 7 years with the team. And this jersey in particular, 2018 postseason patch on it here. So I've always kept all these jerseys with the patch on them because that's what it's all about, is getting to the playoffs and trying to win the championship. The black jersey with the cutoff, not a lot of teams rock the cutoff anymore, but this is a jersey we wore all the time in Colorado.
Rankings. See southwest.com/WSJ.
Before we start the bottom of the 5th, let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the score on the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Talk Cubs on Rahimi, Harrison, Grody. Middays 10 a.m. to 2 on 104.3 The Score. This is the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network. WSCR, WSCR FM, and HD1, Chicago.
Bottom 5 in New York, 7-2 Cubs over the Mets. Francisco Alvarez, right-handed batter at the plate. The right-hander Edward Cabrera deals, and Alvarez swings and fouls it over our heads out of play. 0-1 the count. Cubs jumped all over starter Kodai Senga. Pete Crow Armstrong, a 3-run shot in a 5-run second inning. Dansby Swanson with a 2-run blast in the 4th. Alvarez hits a high fly ball, left center field. Happ under it, makes the catch with PCA right behind him. 1 away.
Spend your 4th of July week at Wrigley Field. Enjoy special promotions and festive ballpark activities. And stay after the 4th of July game for the spectacular fireworks show. For a full list of week's events, visit Cubs.com/tickets. And I can honestly say I've been going to Wrigley Field for a long time.
Carson Bench hits a high fly ball, shallow left center. PCA says, Ian, hold on, I got this one. 2 away as he makes the catch.
Those balls both landed. They could have been 5 feet apart. But I can honestly say I know that they've done a little bit of fireworks stuff, like playoff time where they've shot some stuff off the 2 video boards, but just like for a home run or something. But I can honestly say I don't think the Cubs have ever, I'm sure somebody will say something if I say this if they have, but I don't think they've ever had a fireworks show at Wrigley Field.
Bo Bichette with an awkward swing and miss at a changeup, 0-1. So a 4th of July fireworks show at Wrigley Field. That sounds awesome.
Well, yeah, we got a night game, which is obviously a very rare event at Wrigley to have a 4th of July night game.
Cabrera misses off the outside and he starts hopping up and down on the mound. I think he's just frustrated with himself. Nothing's wrong. Here comes the 1-1 to Bichette. And a line drive, base hit to left. Ball quickly backhanded by Happ. He gets it back into the infield to hold Bichette to a 2-out single.
Well, Bichette smokes this ball left. Better now than last at bat. Last at bat he came up, the bases loaded, punched out. This time he gets that slider and he hooks this ball in the left field for a base knock. But I can honestly say I don't recall the Cubs ever having a fireworks show, and I know I would have known that as a kid.
Well, they didn't have night games when you were a kid.
No,
Mark
not at all.
Vientos at the plate. He swings and misses at a sinking fastball, 0-1. And I'm not calling you old. It's just
I am, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I agree with it. First out in the inning, sponsored by Xfinity. Reliable Wi-Fi at one price for 5 years. Xfinity. Imagine that.
Vientos taps it foul at the plate, 0-2 the count. Vientos came in as a defensive replacement in the top half of this frame. He's hitting in the spot where Juan Soto is in the lineup, but Soto was removed.
Let's check my text. I didn't get a text from anybody from Chicago or any of our Cubs people saying, "Oh yeah, we did it,"
No, you don't forget stuff like that.
No, I don't think we've had it. So that'll be unique for Wrigley Field to have a fireworks display. That will be very cool.
On the 4th of July, that last pitch was fouled back by Vientos. 0-2 the count.
Yeah, Cubs in town that whole week before. Whole week, so should be a very festive week at the friendly confines.
That's a series against the Cardinals. 0-2 the count. Cabrera deals. And Vientos dribbles it foul behind the plate. Cubs are on the road a lot, though, prior to the All-Star break. Tonight starts a string of 13 of 19 games on the road leading into the break. This season, the Cubs are 17-20 away from Wrigley Field. They're leading 7-2 with 2 away here in the bottom of the 5th inning and a man at first. 0-2 on Vientos. Cabrera delivers. Call, strike 3. Got him looking with a fastball.
The batter's challenging the
and
pitch.
Vientos is going to challenge this. He feels it was off the outside near the top of the zone, and he's
The
right.
pitch is the ball. New York has 2 challenges remaining.
That's the fastball, just missed off the plate away by about half a baseball.
So the count is now 1-2. The pitch in the dirt. Backhanded by Kelly. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bichette at first being held on by Bush. The 2-2 to Vientos. Foul back. Out of play. Vientos on the year hitting at .223. He's got 9 home runs. Cabrera deals. In the dirt. Now it's a full count.
Cabrera's spiked 2 breaking balls in the dirt in this at-bat to Vientos. If he could throw a good one close to the bottom of the zone, maybe just a little down, he'd get a punch out.
Let's see if he can do that. Here comes the 3-2. Vientos hits it on the ground, foul off to the left. That was a sinker. Boring in on Vientos. Cabrera 92 pitches thrown so far tonight. The pitch. It's low, ball 4.
Borderline pitch. Kelly did not challenge, obviously, and this pitch just misses down. Right down the middle, I do believe, but just down.
So the Mets trying to put a little 2-out rally together. Bichette at second. Vientos at first. The cleanup man, Jared Young, due up. 7-2 Cubs over the Mets. 2 on, 2 out. Bottom of the 5th inning. Righty-lefty matchup. Cabrera delivers. Up high to Young.
And now Cabrera's had a little issue with command again. He got ahead. Vientos 0-2, and then thought he had to punch out. It wasn't, and now that's going to bring out Tommy Hotovy once again. I just think Tommy's concerned about this command issue, and the last thing you want is to throw one in the middle of the plate and give up a bomb here and get these guys right back in the game.
It is peculiar how it comes and goes so quickly for Cabrera over the course of just an inning.
This inning, he's thrown a couple breaking balls and another, I think a 2-seamer, that his landing spot, he has kicked at the dirt at the landing spot multiple times. So I'm not sure if he's having an issue with the mound a little bit in his landing spot, or his stride foot is changing the length of how far he strides out, which can be an issue. I don't really know how often it happens to pitchers where their stride changes somewhat, but he has kicked at the dirt a couple times in this inning.
So we're ready for the resumption of play. Here comes the 1-0 to Young. It's a called strike, a curveball that spins into the zone, 1-1. From our vantage point here in the visitors' radio broadcast booth, I see Hobie Milner warming up in the Cubs pen. The pitch off the outside, 2-1 on Young. Two on, 2 away for the Mets here in the bottom of the 5th. 7-2 Cubs. Cabrera sets above the belt. High leg kick and pitch inside to Young.
Cabrera's pitch count now at 96 pitches and 97 pitches in the game. I gotta believe this may very well be his last hitter if he doesn't get this out.
Now the 3-1 by Cabrera. Pulled on the ground, foul off to the right by Young. Full count.
3-2, 2 outs. Runners will be going. Big pitch in the ball game for Cabrera. It's be pitch number 98, I do believe. See if he can get this final out here in the 5th.
The pitch. Young grounds one on the right side. Sprawling stop by Horner. Outfield grass. Throw to first. Cabrera covering in time. Out number 3. But is Cabrera hurt? He's having difficulty getting up. He's hopping around. And now he's back down on the ground, holding the back of his left leg.
Yeah, he's stretched getting this throw. Almost like you're going to do the splits, and, that's not a good sign at all for the Cubs. As he gets to the bag in good shape, but then he does do the splits. And I think from what he's grabbing, it's that left inside hamstring, and now he got to his feet, but he is going to have to be helped off the field. This is just,
Oh, man, the Cubs can ill afford another injury to a starter. Trainer Herman Sunsin is trying to help Cabrera just walk back to the Cubs dugout along the third base line. He's being helped out by Craig Counsell.
And I think they're going to get a cart.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Cabrera, what it looks like to me is that inside left hamstring, he grabbed immediately at that hammy when he hit the ground, and then tried to get up, and then there was nothing there. He couldn't get up.
So Cabrera is going to be carted off the field here in New York after an apparent injury to that left leg. After 5, it's the Cubs on top of the Mets 7-2. We're going to take a break. You're listening to The Score and the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Hey Cubs fans, it's Dansby Swanson. Listen to every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Hey Cubs fans, Southwest Airlines here with more reasons why flying Southwest from Chicago just makes sense. We're famously friendly, nonstops out the wazoo, and so reliable. In fact, the Wall Street Journal ranked us #1, first among U.S. airlines. I guess the answer to who's on first is Southwest Airlines, official airline of your Chicago Cubs. Based on WSJ's 2025 rankings, see southwest.com/WSJ.
Heart surgery is no one's dream of retirement. I'm Beverly, and that's what I was facing when my cardiology team at Northwestern Medicine identified a diseased valve in my heart. But thanks to Dr. Gang and Dr. Ahmad's expertise, I didn't have to have open heart surgery.
With access to the top heart and vascular program in Illinois by U.S. News and World Report, Beverly's team at Central DuPage Hospital replaced her diseased aortic valve using a tiny catheter, and she was back on her feet in just a few days. Northwestern Medicine. Better.
Joel Gott Wines is a true all-American classic and the go-to wine for America's favorite pastime. Since 1996, Joel has selected the best vineyards in California to craft balanced, approachable, and food-friendly wines. Whether it's a classic Chicago dog or Italian beef sandwich, Joel Gott is the perfect pairing for any ballpark staple. Whether you're watching at Wrigley Field or at home, look for Joel Gott Wines in the wine aisle at your local retailer. Joel Gott Wines, official wine partner of the Chicago Cubs.
Cubs fans, it's Pat Hughes. To ensure that your business goals get across home plate, consider relocating to the Village of Bedford Park. Learn more at villageofbedfordpark.com.
Getting set for the top of the 6th inning here in New York with the Cubs leading the Mets 7-2, but the focus now shifting to Edward Cabrera.
Dom Canzone will lead off for the Mariners.
Canzone, deep blast. You can't forget about it. Dom Canzone strikes twice on opening night.
Yeah, just an easy 109 exit off the bat from Dom Canzone. 93 down and in. Crushes this ball, same spot, right center.
Multi-homer game for Canzone. A one-run game now at the bottom of the 7th. Let's rely on the home run ball, huh?
Jim Thorpe's resume reads like a work of pure fiction.
So he's in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He's in the College Football Hall of Fame. He got Olympic medals for the decathlon and the pentathlon.
He's the greatest at
I thought I was an athlete, Lindsey.
Thorpe finished his Major League Baseball career with the Boston Braves in 1919, where he played alongside an outfielder named Les Mann.
He invented this particular projector.
And this is not all he's done, right?
He started championing to get baseball into the Olympics. He finally succeeded for the 1936 Olympics, which was held in Berlin.
The German government had discouraged other nations from sending Jewish and black athletes.
We sent over Jesse Owens, and we sent over Mac Robinson, Jackie Robinson's older brother.
Trailblazers like Thorpe and Robinson.
Railing everything wood should be. Visit timbertech.com. Again, Cubs with a 7-2 lead over the Mets as we start the 6th inning. They open a 4-game set, but it's been well documented the injuries that the Cubs have had to their starting rotation. Cade Horton out for the year. Cionel Perez on the mound, left-hander working on the third base side of the rubber. Horner waits. Perez kicks and fires, and Nico looks at a ball. A sinker that didn't sink. The count is 1-0. It's off the outside. Jamison Tyone won't be back until after the All-Star break. The pitch, line foul out of play off to the right by Horner. 1-1 as Tyone recovers from a hamstring strain. Matthew Boyd has missed most of the first half of the season, expected back at some point this week, but he's dealt with a number of different ailments. The latest, a shoulder issue. Here's the 1-1 by Perez. Nico grounds one to short, fielded on a high hop by Bichette. The throw across in time. Nico's retired, one away here in the top of the 6th.
Well, let's see what's on tap here in the 6th inning, sponsored by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. And Cubs have had 2 balls in flight. 3-run homer in the 2nd by Pete Crow Armstrong. And then in the 4th, a 2-run bomb, a line drive bullet off the bat of Dansby Swanson to left.
Carson Kelly digs in and looks at a strike from Perez. Sinker. 0-1. Jed Hoyer was on the score earlier today as Perez gets ready to work his motion. Here comes the 0-1. Kelly takes strike 2. Breaking ball. And Hoyer telling the score that lefty Justin Steele, who's recovering from left elbow surgery, likely won't be stretched out and ready to start games by the end of the season. But they're hoping that he can pitch out of the pen at some point late in the year. Here's the 0-2. Kelly taps it foul off to the left. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
But I mean, for Justin, he's for all practical purposes, missed almost 2 seasons now. So, you want to do right by him. You got to just make sure that he's getting back and able to throw and, and just be healthy.
The 0-2 to Kelly. High and tight. Kelly has to make a limbo-like motion to get out of the way.
That was the old bow tie pitch right there. That one high and tight.
And it's not something Kelly was looking to add to the wardrobe. A 1-2 delivery. And a line drive hit to right, angling toward the line is Benj. Has a play, makes the catch near the corner for out number 2. It'll bring up Dansby Swanson.
Little backdoor breaking ball after the bow tie pitch, right up and in. Kelly just lofts this one out to right. Pretty good breaking ball away.
So Swanson will dig in. He's got a 3 RBI night, sac fly in the 2nd, and then that 2-run job you talked about that came in the 4th. Lefty-righty matchup. The pitch. Ground ball on 1 hop, fielded by Perez on the mound. Jogs towards first, underhand toss. And Swanson's retired. Cubs go down in order in the top of the 6th. Middle 6, 7-2 Cubs over the Mets. On the score in the Northwest.
And there's a shot into left field. Stanton on his way around to score. The Yankees are on the board. First, it's 1-0 New York. Bouncer headed up the middle, and that's going to get through and drive in a couple of runs. Cranked up and sent into the right center field gap. McMahon's going to score easily. They're going to wave Wills around. Plays to third. 5-0 New York. Another one head for no man's land, but Harrison Bader read it well. Former Gold Glover comes up to make a very nice catch for the guy they call Big G, who has driven in a run with the 3rd straight hit to open the 5th inning. Chopper for Jazz. Hot shot. And he makes the catch. That got on there on a line, and he's telling Jose Caballero, "You see that?" I could watch Jazz Chisholm play. I mean, he plays with such joy. Only David Cohn, Ron Guidry, and Mel Stottlemyre had opening day starts of 6+ innings with 2 or fewer hits and no runs allowed.
What is something that you snack on that you don't worry about?
I love Uncrustables. I could eat like 10 of them in one sitting.
And no regard for his body? I don't even wait till I thaw out.
Hey, put them in a toaster next time. Just toast it, yep. It'll change your life.
Yeah, just an incredible play by Riley Green.
You're an all-star on the field and off, bro.
I appreciate it.
Hey,
thank you.
Riley Green, bro, food genius.
At villageofbedfordpark.com.
Alongside Ron Coomer, Zach Zaidman in for Pat tonight. Bottom of the 6th inning in New York. Cubs leading the Mets 7-2. Hobie Milner takes over for the Cubs. Edward Cabrera started, went 5 innings, giving up 2 runs on 3 hits, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts, but he was carted off the field at the end of the 5th inning. He was covering first on a ground ball hit on the edge of the outfield grass to Horner and had to lunge at first to make the play. A.J. Ewing at the plate. He swings at the first pitch from Milner, pops it up down the left field line, and this one bounces off the tarp for a foul ball left side. 0-1.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that the Cabrera thing, that's just terrible news for the Cubs and for Cabrera. He's, it's thrown a pretty good ball game today, got through 5, but the final out in the 5th, he gets a throw to first. He's covering the bag. He ends up doing the splits at first, and from what it looked like, either pull hamstring or groin on the left leg.
Check swing by Ewing at a sweeper off the outside. He went around. The count is 0-2. The next pitch is a sweeper that misses. Low and outside. 1-2 the count. Juan Soto, we're getting word, left the game with a back injury. As Milner misses again with a sweeper off the outside and low. So 2-2 now on Ewing. The next pitch. Outside. Ewing has worked a full count. Pete Crow Armstrong and Dansby Swanson both going deep for the Cubs tonight. As Ewing takes ball 4 low and outside. Milner missing with another sweeper. Leadoff walk here in the 6th for Ewing and the Mets.
Yeah, not what Milner was looking for. He left on left. That should be a guy that he can go on the attack with from that sidearm delivery. Unable to throw that final pitch and keep it on the plate.
Right, so Ewing, excellent speed at first. He's got 7 steals, being held on by Bush. The batter, the right-handed hitting Marcus Semien. The lefty Milner deals. Semien hits a one-hopper off the glove of Milner. He fields, throws to second for 1. Horner to first. In time, double play.
Very nice play by Milner. As this ball's hit back at him, he knocks it down, but the ball goes down. And on the hop, he just grabs it barehanded. And then what most sidearm pitchers have an issue with is throwing to the bases. That's not normal for them, and the delivery. But he throws a nice sidearm bullet right to Nico and starts the 1-4-3 double play.
Brett Beatty looks at a strike from Milner. 0-1.
Tough plays of the game. That qualifies.
Oh, yeah.
Tough plays of the game, sponsored by Loyola Medicine. Loyola Medicine defines tough.
Milner deals. Beatty fouls it back quickly in the hole. 0-2. Remember asking Milner once, we were going over when he developed the sidearm delivery. I said, out of high school, what did you think you were going to be? He said, a center fielder.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what he was in high school. So you can tell some of that ability is there. He misses off the outside with a sweeper. 1-2 the count on Beatty.
And it was a minor league coach, right?
Yeah, he was in the Philadelphia organization. And a minor league coach told him, you know what? You might want to start throwing sidearm pitch off the outside. 2-2. Milner didn't understand why, and then quickly figured out.
Hint.
Yeah. They're telling me my only way to stick is to get this down, and he eventually did.
And you got to tip your hat to guys that do, figure out what it is for them.
Line drive hit to left. Going back, Happ has a play, makes the catch. Short of the track for out number 3 as Beatty is retired. We'll continue this when we come back after 6. 7-2.
Pop quiz. How do you go from Captain Clutch to the Iron Horse through a milestone and a marathon? The answer is on Hall of Fame Connections.
The captain, Derek Sanderson Jeter, is one of the winningest players in Major League history. He was wearing these very batting gloves when he notched one of those most memorable hits, the 3,000th of his career.
Are we supposed to spit in them like they do the batting gloves?
No spitting. This is a non-spitting museum.
3,000! History with an exclamation point!
He's just the second player in history whose 3,000th hit was a home run. The first was a former teammate from the Yankees' 1996 World Series championship team. But before he began his Cooperstown-bound career, Boggs would cross paths with another future Hall of Famer. September 6, 1995, the Iron Man played his 2,000th 131st consecutive game, surpassing the unbreakable record of the Iron Horse.
Now that's how you pass the torch.
Catch every episode of Hall of Fame Connections on MLB.tv and discover your own connections to the game at baseballhall.org.
It's 2020. We're more than just amazing suits.
Top of the 7th in New York. It's the Cubs 7 and the Mets 2. This day in baseball history is brought to you by villageofbedfordpark.com. It's time to make history for your business in Bedford Park. June 23rd, 1984, one of the most famous games in Cubs history. Ryne Sandberg went 5 for 6 with 7 runs batted in, including game-tying home runs against Cardinals closer Bruce Sutter in the 9th and 10th innings in what became known as the Sandberg game. Pete Crow Armstrong digs in to begin the top of the 7th for the Cubs against the new Met right-hander Tobias Myers, former Brewer. PCA with a 3-run home run in a 5-run second inning. Myers deals, and Crow Armstrong looks at a strike, a slider that spins into the zone. 0-1. Beatty playing in, wide of third. Now the pitch. Crow Armstrong hits it foul off to the right on the ground. 0-2. In 1971, Coombe, Phillies pitcher Rick Wise threw a no-hitter against the Cincinnati Reds. And in the same game, he slugged 2 home runs, making him the first and only pitcher in MLB history as Crow Armstrong backs out of the way of a splitter inside 1-2.
I think it made him the first Benny's Toast of the Game ball player.
Yeah, 2 home runs and a no-hitter.
And a no-hitter. I think that's a tough one to beat.
Yeah, that'll do it. How about that game Rhino had as the Cubs won 12-11 in the 11th?
I watched the game as a kid. I'll never forget it. I was mad at my parents because they made me leave the house in the middle of the game, and the game's going, and I'm like, no. So, we were in our little neighborhood in Chicago, so I watched it in my grandparents' basement. And everybody's out in the backyard, picnic kind of thing, and I got to watch the game. I'm glad I did.
That last pitch up high to PCH. Worked a full count after starting 0-2. Myers works on the first base side of the rubber. A long set, the kick and pitch. High and outside, ball 4. PCA draws his second walk of the ball game. And that's really an area where Crow Armstrong has grown as a hitter. Taking more pitches, drawing more walks.
Well, he's just letting the ball get to him so you get a little longer look, and the recognition of pitches has gotten better over these last 20, 25 games where he has gotten so hot.
The pitch to Alex Bregman is a called strike, a cutter.
7th inning, sponsored by Volvo XC90. Room for everyone, ready for wherever the road takes you.
Vientos holding on, Crow Armstrong at first. Long set, Myers deals, Bregman swings, pops it up, foul out of play, off to the right, 0-2. There's a big hole on the right side of the infield for Bregman if he chooses to go in that direction. Simeon, the second baseman, up the middle just to the right of the bag, and Vientos holding on PCA at first. The count is 0-2. Here's the pitch. And this is popped up on the infield right side. Simeon halfway between first and second. He's under it on the dirt, makes the catch. 1 away.
Bregman just out and around that ball and kind of runs out of bat and pops this ball up.
So here's Michael Busch, 0 for 3 tonight. Strikeout and a couple of groundouts. Cubs up 7-2 over the Mets, the opener of a 4-game set. Righty-lefty matchup, the pitch. Busch, a big swing and a miss at a slider, 0-1.
Coming to you live all season long from the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth. Proud partner of the Chicago Cubs.
We know who's pitching tomorrow for the Cubs in the doubleheader. We just don't know in what order yet. The 0-1. Busch takes the ball up high, snap throw to first, and PCA dives back in safely. It was a one-hopper to first, caught by Vientos, who had to sprawl off the bag to catch the ball from Alvarez.
Pete getting well off the bag and then not always bouncing right back to first. And Alvarez taking, he's thrown over there twice from behind home plate tonight.
Busch waits for the 1-1. Here it comes. Up high. 2 balls and a strike. A fastball that missed from Myers. So in some order tomorrow, Cubs will go with the left-hander Shota Imanaga and the right-hander Javier Assad. Throw to first. PCA dives back in safely.
Long day of baseball, split doubleheader. We'll play the first game at 12:05 Chicago time. 1 o'clock normal baseball time here for a day game, and then 7:05 here, so it'll be noon and 6 tomorrow for all practical purposes tomorrow.
So Armstrong was running, but Busch fouls this one at the plate.
So now you brag a lot about this New York pizza that I hear about all the time. I expect you to deliver tomorrow.
They actually have really good New York style pizza here at Citi Field.
We're going to go to the ballpark, so okay, all right. I see how. See, Shrek, see what I mean? You know, jeez.
Well, it's not like we have a lot of time to go and find other places. It's kind of hard to deliver pizza into the ballpark during a game. The pitch, Busch takes the ball up high, so he's worked a full count.
We'll test it out tomorrow.
Yeah, you'll make me do it.
Shregs is all for it. He's yes.
There's nothing wrong with New York style pizza.
No, I like
New York
pizza.
Yeah,
I played here.
Yeah.
I was a bomber for a year.
Payoff pitch. Crow Armstrong goes. Busch fouls a line drive off to the right. Count remains 3-2. 1 down here in the top of the 7th. Cubs leading the Mets 7-2. And by the way, this holds true for when we get back to Wrigley. If we play a doubleheader at Wrigley, especially of the split variety, then feel free to order a good tavern-style pizza to the booth.
I absolutely will.
And you don't even have to wait for a doubleheader.
I got no problem making sure we got snacks.
The pitch to Busch is a ball. Alvarez threw the second as PCA was running. Or was it hold on one second here.
Ball 4.
Yeah, that was a ball. Yep. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Busch started going in the direction of the Cubs dugout along the third base line, but all he was doing was removing the shin guard. So now the Cubs have men at first and second after the walk by Busch. Just one away here in the top of the 7th, and Seiya Suzuki due up. And manager Carlos Mendoza has jogged out of the dugout here. What's going on?
I am not quite sure. I wonder if Pete engaged with the bag and then came off the bag and then they tagged him would be the only thing I can think of. Pete's got his helmet off at second base, and I think that would be my guess. This is just strictly a guess, but the umpires are going to take a look. This would have been an odd play, and I think they're going to get a challenge here.
New York is challenging the safe call at second base.
Yeah, they're gonna say that Pete, and now Counts is going to come out and ask, what do we got? Because it was ball 4, so Pete gets second base. So did he engage at the bag, come off the bag, and then get tagged? And
so now
Counts having, it looks like his conversation is with Jordan Baker mainly. I think Jordan is the crew chief.
You're about to hear. No, he's talking to New York as we speak, as the play is under review.
I think the home plate umpire, Austin Jones, is kind of going over the rule with.
So we're taking a look
counts,
at the replay now. And so here's what happened. There was a ball 4 to Bush, but Alvarez, because PCA was running, decided to complete the throw to second base. And if PCA stepped off the second base bag after sliding in and time wasn't called and he's tagged, he's out.
I think he's going to be safe at second base. I do. I don't think he was engaged at the bag. The tag comes off of him. I think he's going to be safe at second. I don't think they're going to call him out.
They're taking a second look. A second opinion is always a good idea. Get yours at Northwestern Medicine.
And I'm guessing the three guys are talking, and now the first base umpire, Stu Sherwater's going over there. And this is a rules thing. I guarantee you, they're talking about, the engagement of him being at second base. So do you slide in, touch the bag, and the play's not over, and you just get second base? That's going to be the question, and they're still waiting for word from New York, too, but I know they're discussing this as a rule. Very seldom do you see the umpires get together